The PWC Network. What the world is watching and listening to.
That you were the leader of, like Swerve Strickland. That was a plot. That was a plot that's very apparent. And we saw.
Can you blame the Mogul Embassy for what they did?
This was all designed by the elite. We even heard at the back. The elite was behind this, Nigel.
So what you're saying is they should have stayed in league with the AEW team rather than the EVPs. They know where their bread is buttered, Tony.
Apparently so.
Oof.
But the fact is that obviously the Mogul Embassy are.
This is an absolute mugging.
Give the Boros twins a lot of credit. They have come in to fight, and so has Evan Rivers. But man, they are just no match for the Gates of Agony and Brian Cage. Good God! Incredible! 1, 2, and 3. It's over.
The winners of this match, Gates of Agony and the Machine, Brian Cage.
What an unbelievable display of brutality. If you're the AEW World Champion, Swerve Strickland now, you've got to feel your back against the wall. Tony Schiavone bravely getting into the ring.
Why in the world would the Gates of Agony and you, Brian Cage, attack your leader of the Mogul Embassy in Swerve Strickland?
It's not Swerve's house anymore! What's the matter with you, Tony? Are you stupid? We already explained exactly why we did what we did. But for everyone who's a little bit slow, I'll get right to the point. Swerve, you're selfish. You and Nana both. All the two of you did was take and take and take. And then they left us high and dry, of course, until they needed us once again. That's not the kind of leadership and guidance we were looking for. What we're looking for is the leadership and guidance of the new AEW product, of the new showrunners, of our elite EVPs, Matthew and Nicholas Jackson.
There's his music. Surely the AEW World Champion knows better. Oh, look at this! From behind! Strickland with a chain! And now Brian Cage is well on the receiving end. Oh, but he's got caught! taking matters into his own hands. House call. Oh! Swerve Strickland comes for revenge. And Bishop Khan taken down as well. And again. Now look at this. With the chain. Enacting here's the revenge. Bishop Khan. Let's get some help out here. We need some security.
Well, no one was calling for security on Wednesday. Now we're... Yikes.
Leona ran through the AEW World Champion like a freight train.
Your fault.
He said Nana, sending a message to Nana.
How about what Brian Cage said about the leadership in the Mogul Embassy and the leadership here in AEW? Thinking that
he found better leadership, better guidance.
Oh my God, look at this. Running halfway around the ring and then a cinder block met the big man. A cinder block.
Right into the midsection.
We've seen Swerve use a cinder block before on our programming. He is not opposed to using it again, as you can tell. And he's not done with the big man, Leona.
Strickland's unhinged. He's going to kill the man.
Well, remember what they tried to do to him on Wednesday? Put him right through this table, using the steel steps.
That's not an excuse for this.
I'm not excusing this for it, but this is what revenge is all about.
He's killed the beast!
Unbelievable what we have witnessed here tonight.
Brian Cage escapes. But for how long? The AEW World Champion wants his pound of flesh, and he's coming for it.
All right, fans. It's been an incredible night here on TBS, and we've got a whole lot more. Stay.
Sisters looking cute in her braces and boots, and a handful of grease in her hair. Don't give us none of your aggravation. We've had it with your discipline. Saturday night's alright for fighting. Get a little action in. Get about it so you'll dance a diesel train. Gonna send us down the line. Saturday night's
could tell, or if anyone in the chat could tell, but as we went right into the show, there was the intro was playing twice over, like it was doubling up for me, right? And then when I got in and I was about to do the intro, I couldn't hear myself until like 10 seconds later compared to the video, which was completely bizarre because off the air we were talking like normal and there was no delay. So I don't know what happened there, but sorry for the botched intro. Should I redo that intro bit?
No, we're good. We're fine. Let's do it live. We're already in. Yeah, your internet choked just like Drew McIntyre. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just vamping about how Collision was stupid, and I was already dreading I was thinking about what grade I was going to give it right now at the top of the show. Even before we went live, I was like, am I going to give this an F? Like, let me think about it. But I guess we'll dig into that later. Speaking of later, there's obviously like a big elephant in the room, and I'm not talking about Gary, but I just want to tell you guys, a lot of you probably already know, but just stick around to the end of the show. We'll address it then. So please understand. But as far as like Wreckage and sifting and news and other things, I don't know, Jimmy, what kind of a week it was in wrestling. I just saw a headline of, 2 more executives from WWE that have either been handed or filed their walking papers. We're not even sure which is which.
Wow. But I actually haven't heard that. Is it anyone that we know of?
I think the average wrestling fan probably wouldn't know, but I think maybe some people have heard these names thrown about. They escape me at the moment. I'm sure you could pull it up and find out, but as far as any other news, it just kind of, it generally looks like the same old stuff. We had another terrible SmackDown.
Well, it's funny, not that it's really news. Yeah, SmackDown wasn't the greatest, man. But what's funny, though, if you want to call it news, did you hear about what Kenny said about Meltzer and his star ratings?
Well, that was one of the headlines. Was he said something like Will Ospreay broke Meltzer's brain or something like that. That was the headline. I don't know what the context was.
Well, basically he's saying he doesn't understand wrestling. This is Kenny about Meltzer. Actually, let me just, I'll just read. Yeah, can you believe this?
Why is Kenny trying to become Jim Cornette's favorite wrestler all of a sudden?
I have no idea. It's odd because even Corny himself is sort of, I'm not saying he's taken a liking to him, but he's starting to respect him a little more in recent times. But this is what he had to say on his Twitch stream. And this is what he had to say. He goes, I did have to go back to the hospital. The good news is that I was able to get some pre-op stuff done. Obviously, talking about his injury. It's a double-edged sword. It's good news and bad news. The good news is I have a wonderful doctor and he's someone who is the top of his field. He's very hard to get appointments and surgeries with. However, he's done me a solid. I will actually be getting surgery very, very soon. Unfortunately for me, it means I have to leave town again. However, again, this guy's the top in his field. Even though it's a major surgery, I do feel the most comfortable with this individual. So even though there are always worries going into a major surgery, if there is one person I feel the most confident with, it's this dude. Bad news is it's like an end of an era because sadly this may be my last stream in a while. Anyway, that I'll move forward from that.
Even Kenny's Twitch streams have an era now?
Yeah, apparently no more Kenny Twitch streams after the surgery.
End of an era. No.
The end of an era. But basically what he said about Meltzer is that he doesn't understand professional wrestling properly. He doesn't understand the context of a good wrestling match. Now, I'm surprised that he's even saying all this, and it shouldn't be judged on just the in-ring portion of the match. It should be judged on psychology and whatnot also. I mean, he's probably getting too, crazy for Meltzer's liking, but essentially he's saying it's a flawed system that needs to be changed. And really, I couldn't care less about this 5-star bullshit rating. Does it need to be changed or does it need to be, scrapped? He's saying it's a fake wrestling match. How do you judge like a match with star ratings when it takes 2 to tango and blah, blah, blah? Essentially, he was saying shit like that. I mean, do you have anything to say about that?
Yeah, I don't know. Here's the deal. I think that Dave Meltzer, I think he understands wrestling quite a fair bit.
I think he would too, right?
As a fan. But and he can give anything any number of stars that he wants. Like like what Dave Meltzer does, to him, he's just doing that because that's what he's done for however many years now, 40 years. It has nothing to do, but it's everybody else is the one that's ascribing importance to it. Like, if no wrestler cared what Meltzer rated their match, we wouldn't be having these conversations now. But ever since the internet and all this stuff, it's like people like put stock into this stuff. And the wrestlers do put stock into this stuff. At least they say. Some of them have said out loud that they do. And sure, if you're if I was a wrestler, right, and let's say Brian Alvarez gave my match a star rating, right? Because at one time, Brian Alvarez did say in his Figure 4 Wrestling online newsletter that like my tag team was like his new favorite tag team, right? So he did say that once.
Really?
But let's say
no shit.
Yes. So
wow.
if let's just say for example, if he gave a match that I have 5 stars, I would be like, oh, nice. But it doesn't matter to me because I know what my match was, what I wanted it to be, what it tried to be, and what maybe it failed to be. Like, I know all that stuff. He might not know that. So it's just his opinion of watching it. And he's fine to say that. But people arguing over it, I don't understand that part of it. I understand Meltzer wanting to rate a match. I don't understand why everybody else feels like they should tell him that he shouldn't do it, or that he doesn't know what he's talking about, or any of these other. I don't know why it's a conversation for everybody else, because most things that don't matter to me, I don't talk about, I don't bring up. I'm not a fan of reality television, so I don't go telling people how much these shows suck that I don't watch. And I don't tell them, I don't tell them how to, like, hey, you should do your show like this, because I don't watch or because I don't care. Like, I don't comment on stuff that doesn't matter. And I don't really comment on the star ratings because, to me, like, I understand why Kenny's saying what he's saying, but I also don't care enough to try to tell Dave Meltzer how to run his business that he's run. So, but it is interesting, though, that he of all people would be the one to say it, because it's almost like he's doing like to some people it would be a babyface turn, to other people it would be a heel turn, I guess.
It's weird, dude. His thought process is totally changed for whatever reason. I have no idea why. But Labrat says, and this is a good point, the wrestlers gave Davey's ego, including Kenny, which I actually agree with.
Yeah,
so,
I mean,
well said.
Yeah, exactly. Well, anybody that ever called him up, and gave him some dirt, anybody that he ever called up and answered and gave him dirt or whatever, like, Dave Meltzer's place in wrestling history as someone that chronicled the wrestling business, because nobody else was really doing that. Not to what he was doing. Like, he's trying to figure out, like, the stuff behind, like, oh, this took place on this date. This was the event. It grossed this much money. It had this many tickets. Is like he was trying to chronicle this, right? And regardless of what the star ratings, that's not all he does. It's not like people think that he was trying to give people a peek behind the curtain. And you could argue whether he should have been doing that or not, but somebody was going to. If he didn't do it, Wade Keller would have done it. If Wade Keller didn't do it, somebody else would have done it. Like, he's just the first one to do it. But now, if he had not done that back then, back in the early 80s when he started, if he hadn't done that, then how are we supposed to look up and find out about stuff that happened? Because people didn't treat wrestling like a legitimate sport. So they didn't keep statistics. They didn't do stuff like that. He was doing something like that. And to me, that's his true value in the place of wrestling history, is like, without him, we wouldn't have a lot of information that we had. Now, granted, along the way, you're going to get some wrong information. He has to take people's word for it. So if like Brian Pillman calls up and gives him one side of the story, he's going to go with that. He may not know the other sides of the story, but whatever, like, he's going to have his favorites. He's going to have his people that he doesn't like. There's bias involved. It's part of journalism. Everybody has it. There are no, like, no matter what anybody wants to say, there's really no unbiased journalism. They're all biased and based on how they grew up, how they were taught, whatever. It all goes into it. But I'm just saying, like, I just think it's funny how we still argue about the stars, and I don't know why it matters. Why don't you just say, if Dave says something, like if he says, hey, this match gets 6 stars, right?
Yeah.
And you say, it was a 3 for me. That's all you need to say. You don't need to call him an idiot. You don't need to say we need to get rid of this rating system. What do you mean we need? It's his thing. You know what I mean? Like, I don't get why people get invested in other stuff that, and you could take that to the tribalism conversation. You could expand that to any like aspect of like entertainment where people are arguing with each other over stuff that's really not important.
It's true. Facts. Well said, Vet. Liv says in the chat, it feels like Kenny is seeing certain things more clearly as he's been kind of out of the bubble. I can agree to that, actually. Maybe he is seeing things a lot more clearly since he has been out of the bubble.
Maybe so.
Maybe.
Well, I guess we'll know if and when he makes his return.
Well, apparently now, this is not facts, so I'm just alleging here, but allegedly his contract comes up by midway next year. And a lot of people, there's talk again, and like there's even rumors that WWE is going to pull out all the stops to sign Kenny. I don't know how much I believe that, because at the end of the day, look, he was never injury prone. But I think you and I both knew by the way he was wrestling, especially in Japan, eventually that motor was going to stop ticking. You know what I mean? And it did, right? And it did badly, because to the point where, you know, he's always got something wrong with him. And think about it. He's running Japan for like at the top. And when I say at the top, I'm not talking about just his IWGP Heavyweight Championship win and title run, but also right before that when he became the leader of the Bullet Club from then on, was a good 3 years straight at the top, right? Easily. And he was, you know, he wasn't really prone to that many injuries. Like, he just, you know, fought through it. But now at 40 years old, he's turning 41 in October. You know, things are catching up to him. And I don't know how much WWE would be interested in now to sign a guy that's, I guess you can kind of call injury prone at this point. And, you know, how much use would you have with Kenny, and would you push him to the top, you know, as part of the top of the card if they were to sign him? I mean, do you think WWE would do that?
I don't know what they would do.
Right.
I'll tell you what they can do, which is, yeah, of course you could sign him. Like, what's AJ Styles, 46?
Yeah, but they signed him in his, it's 2016, right? 8 years ago. He was in his mid-30s.
But what I'm saying is, my point is, doesn't matter when they signed AJ Styles. What it matters is, what did they get of him the past 5 years or so to when Kenny would be his age now? Like, obviously, he just main evented a pay-per-view. So, you know, like, if Kenny really has seen things differently from outside the bubble, so to speak, then that would mean that he's probably thought a lot about what he can do to maximize the time that he has left. And if he feels like he wants to have a WWE run, or if WWE feels like they want to have a Kenny Omega run, I don't see anything that he does that he couldn't still do, as long as it's smart and sparingly. So, you know, basically learn to work, kid, is basically what I'm saying. Because he's got the name recognition, and he can have a match with pretty much anybody that he needs to. And they will tell him what they will and won't do. So he'll work with that. You know, I mean, we make fun of him for wrestling a doll, but I mean, he wrestled a doll, so that means he can. Isn't that the equivalent of wrestling a broomstick? So
yeah, pretty much, yeah.
You know, it was a compliment when you said it about Ric Flair. It's a negative when you say it about Kenny Omega, but I'm just saying. So like he can do what's asked of him or needed of him, and I don't think that his particular age at this point would be a detriment to that.
No, well put, man.
It's more so how he comes out of this current predicament that he's in. Assuming the surgery goes well and he can make a full recovery, that's going to determine more than anything, not just the number of years old that he is.
No, for sure, man. Also, back to WWE news. You mentioned about these two high executives that resigned or whatever happened, but here's the news. Two high-level WWE executives recently departed from the company, according to PW Insider and also Fightful Select. PW
Not credible sources.
Them two definitely not credible sources. I can't believe. Speaking of that, before I keep going, did you see Sean Ross Sapp and his hissy fit on friggin' Twitter, bro?
No, I don't see anything those guys do, really.
Dude, man, it's embarrassing. But
it's important for everyone to curate their own social media experience. Like, I make sure my timeline has as little as possible to do with those guys.
No, he needs someone to actually take over his social media because he looked like a fool. First, he's like, oh, you know, by the way, it was an accident. Yeah, I know, that's true. Facts. But but seriously, he's sitting there saying, oh, no, I spoke to WWE, you know, marketing, or someone called him up. Someone in WWE, right, called him up saying, oh, no, Triple H didn't mean that. It was an accident, apparently, and rah. And I'm just thinking, oh, you believe that? Do you seriously believe that, right, first of all? Second of all, he's like, no, but they thought, yeah, he didn't mean it, blah, blah, blah. And people were giving him shit, dude. And his reactions were so kiddie, bro. He's like, go fuck your mum and go fuck yourself and shit like that. And it's like, bro, you're such a child, man. He said what he said. Get over it. Who gives a fuck? If anything, it was, you know, it was publicity for you, bro. You know what I mean? Regardless if it fucks him up or not. But do you think, I want to know what the numbers are with these dirt sheets these days, because, I mean, the way the negativity they've been getting, let's be honest, dude, it's a time now where all these dirt sheets are really getting poo-pooed. I don't remember a time back in the day, especially, where any of these dirt sheets were getting shat on the way they're getting shat on now, dude.
Yeah, I would be curious to see the numbers. Whatever they are, they'd be way too high. But anyway, so despite, you know, so Sean Ross Sapp through tears posted this, and Mike Johnson through sandwiches posted this. Well, like, got mustard all over his keyboard. But who were the guys that left the WWE?
Well, according to Mike
Rubin
Johnson,
from music producer Rick Rubin, and who else?
And Jimmy Iovine. Because apparently
yeah.
coming from him. So talking about music producers and stuff. Anyway, Mike Johnson reported that his sources stated that WWE Vice President of International Events, General Manager of Emerging Markets, that's a long sort of tag, Michael Levin, or Levine, maybe. It's spelled as Levin. How would you say that? Levin or Levine?
I think Levin, right. But
I think Levin too. But anyway, Michael Levin recently departed from the company over the past several days. Those spoken to reportedly stated that Levin's departure was due to his position being phased out as part of TKO's group ongoing assimilation of WWE and UFC. Johnson reported that prior to his departure, Levin had worked out of WWE's London office and had been in attendance at last Saturday's Backlash 2024 event in Lyon, France. Prior to his departure, Levin had been working in WWE since August of 2016 and had been promoted as the GM Emerging Markets and VP International Live Events in July 2020. Prior to joining WWE, Levin had previously worked for Ticketmaster and Live Nation. Fightful Select's Sean Ross Sapp, though, reported that his sources confirmed Johnson's report about Levin's departure, and also stated that another high-level WWE executive also recently departed from the company. SAT reported that those spoken to stated that Senior Director of TV Event Relations, Stephen Rubin, like you said, Mike Rubin, also departed from WWE over the past few days. Prior to his departure, Rubin had worked in WWE since June of '98. Wow. And had been promoted as Senior Director of TV Event Relations in February of 2023. There you have it. Mike Rubin was reporting and also got fired at the same time. There you go.
Yeah.
What's the chances?
So they don't know. They don't know. They don't know whether he left, quit, fired, just that he's gone. I'm sure.
Well, apparently it's because of TKO, and
No,
the
that's
WWE and
the first
UFC
guy.
merger. Oh, yeah,
first
true.
guy.
That's true.
The
No, you're
second
right.
guy, they're not sure. The first guy was, a redundant position, I suppose. Or maybe something else. Who knows?
Well, since '98, to have a job in WWE since '98 and only now to leave or get fired or whatever happened, wow. I mean, that's a good run. So, I mean, he can't be that mad. I'm sure he'd get a good payout also.
Sure.
So,
Yeah.
good
maybe
luck to
time
them.
retire,
Maybe. I don't even know how old the guy is, but I'm sure it probably is time to retire. But also sticking with WWE vet, apparently Becky Lynch's contract reportedly expires soon, and she hasn't re-signed yet. I think she will re-sign. Oh, and get this, dude. I actually listened to her audiobook. Excuse me. See, if you sign up to, what do you call it, to Spotify, to their premium shit, they've got audiobooks now, and yeah, man, you can listen to the audiobooks for free as long as you're a subscriber. And so I listened to it. I thought, fuck it, I'll give it a listen.
Listen to some not your average girl.
There were some things I didn't know about. For example, I knew her and Fergal Devitt, aka what's it called, Finn Balor,
who did
Right.
re-sign a contract.
who did re-sign a contract, and he came out and said that on Twitter. I knew they were close, but they never came out publicly that they were dating, that they were together. And she came out with it in her book that they were together, and she was madly in love with him. And do you know why they broke up? Because he signed off with New Japan Pro Wrestling, and basically he broke up with her. So, and she was devastated, dude, apparently, and she slipped around a bit too, dude. If you listen or read her book, she gets into a few things. I'm surprised she said what she said.
Hey,
But,
don't slander Becky like that. She didn't sleep around. I read the book. I read it myself, unless she changed all the dialogue when she did the audiobook version.
Dude,
but I read
she was with a few guys.
Yeah, well, I mean, what can you do? You're a woman. You're gonna date.
So
she
did
probably
you
didn't
really
even
read
name all the people, but
No, she didn't actually. I don't know who the UFC guy is. Have you got any idea?
yes. Wait,
Who is it? She
no, I
didn't mention
don't.
the name.
I was
Okay,
confused.
all right.
I forgot because I also read Rhonda's book, and she
Oh.
talked about somebody that she was dating at the time, which that's easier to figure out because she didn't
Right.
name his name. She said he doesn't deserve to have his name named, but you can Google
yeah,
that
it's
and figure
easy.
it out. Becky one, I didn't know who it was, but maybe somebody did some, some.
I want to know.
some sleuthing.
I'm curious, but Labra said she was networking, Jimmy. What'd you think of her book anyway? Did you like it?
Becky's book.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did like it. I like that she's very honest about stuff. She doesn't really
Very honest. Surprisingly, bro.
She doesn't really put herself over. She more like puts herself down a lot.
Yeah, true. But she also
Mostly
does
she
put
was
herself
like she
over
was
at
talking about
times.
how she definitely had the goal of main eventing WrestleMania, and she was gonna do whatever it took to do that. So like that's the closest she gets to kind of putting herself over. The rest, she's like very self-deprecating, and she talks about her eating
Bulimic,
disorders and
yeah.
and stuff like just so I appreciate her honesty. I always liked Becky. I always felt like she was just another one of the guys, really. But you know, that's just my impression. I wasn't around her, but I enjoyed the book. The only thing about it was like, it did kind of seem as though, it towards the end, like when she's kind of talking about her WWE career, it seems like the book, like the pace really picks up and they shoot past a lot of stuff really quick, and it's like, whoa,
Too quick, I think, dude.
Yeah,
Actually,
so,
you're right.
Yeah, so I don't. That would be the only complaint. Like I wanted maybe a little bit more, but you know, I like that she wrote the whole thing herself. Like I like that she was honest, she was entertaining. It did have the have a nice day vibes of like the sense of humor. You know, she's not exactly like Mick Foley, but she's
cheesy though. She's daggy, cheesy.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
She's cheesy, but she would tell you that. She would admit that. So I like it. I would, if you're a fan of Becky, I would recommend it. If you're not so much a fan of hers, but you like wrestling books and you like reading about, you know, stuff behind the scenes and stuff like that, you know, maybe you'll become a fan of hers if you hear the real her and not just like the gimmick versions, like the man, big time Bex. If you actually listen to the real person.
No, right, exactly. She was very candid, actually, man. So, yeah, I recommend it. Dee, I think, didn't really like it. Personally, I liked it, but yeah, no, she's very candid. It's pretty eye-opening too with some of the shit she says. But Liz wants to know, why is it sleeping around if it's a chick, but he's a stud if it's a guy? You mean why is a female? Oh yeah, look, man, look.
To me, it ain't like, to me, if you sleep around, you sleep around. Like, I don't think a guy is cool for doing that, but at the same time, like, literally, the women are the gatekeepers.
Exactly.
So keep that gate as much as you can. You know, everybody can just come through.
And also, Liz.
You know, go ahead, Jimmy.
No, continue. I'll say after you.
Oh no, I'm probably putting my foot in my mouth anyways, but I mean, that's, yeah, that's, you know.
Well, look, I'll put your mouth in. I mean, your mouth. Sorry, forget it. I was going to say your foot in my mouth right now because basically,
don't do that. This is the internet, but let's not do that.
You funny guy. Anyway, basically, what I was going to say is, you know what it is, Liz. You know, females are supposed to be all that, you know, wholesome and. You know what I mean? Like, I know it's stupid though. I agree with you. You're right. You know, a female shouldn't be, you know, slut shamed for sleeping around with many guys or not. But I think more so because women are supposed to be, you know, wholesome and stuff, whereas guys are guys, right? But you're right. It's stupid. It's a stupid thing. I mean, I don't judge. Maybe, you know, when I was younger, I'd probably say, oh, she's a slut, whatever, right? But now I couldn't care less. Like, if you sleep around, good on you, man. What's wrong with liking sex, right? There's nothing wrong with that. But it just comes across as kind of dirty, like, you know.
You know, for a long time, Jimmy, it seems like it seemed like there was a yeah, I was looking at that. Thank you, Jose.
Oh, Jose.
But no, for a long time it seemed like the society thing was women would like to deny how much they like and enjoy sex. It's like a burden they have to carry. Like, oh, I gotta have, we're the ones that have to have sex with guys. Like, knowing that, you know, it wasn't cool for women to enjoy it. It was almost like it was a burden they had to carry. Which is not the case. You know, everybody likes sex, or they should.
No, for sure.
You know what I mean? Like, it's not a.
Oh yeah, there's something wrong if you don't.
Thing. Yeah.
No.
So, but
it's not even
even like
specific thing either.
But I mean, even from my experience of like, even from my experience of just like the women I've known ever since I was like from grade school to high school to college to the other adults in my family and my life and my friends and all the women that I've ever seen, in my experience, in my personal experience, it would like if a woman had feelings for a guy, they would take it to their grave before they admit it. Like they want the guy to ask them.
Bingo.
You know what I mean? Like they don't want to admit it. So it's like as soon as the guy admits it, then all bets are off. But like the women will take, it'll be like, here lies so and so. She actually liked this guy but never told him. You know, like that's just how it was.
Bro. That was facts. First of all, also, it's funny that you said that because dude, they'll drop as many hints as possible for you to get it, right? Like, and you know it deep down too, right? You know, you can see the hints and all that shit, but there's no fucking way they're going to come out and admit it. You know, they're waiting for you to fucking make that move. And it's just funny. Like, what, D? What? Yeah, no, exactly. We do the chasing. They drop the little fucking hints.
Right.
And it's up to you
if you understand it or not. It's a fun game we've played for thousands of years.
Literally thousands of years. But, yeah, it's funny.
But if some woman, if some Instagram model goes on a podcast and gives you a number of guys that she slept with, then like I'm suddenly much less interested for whatever reason. Like I can't tell.
I wonder why.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe I don't want to be 3001, you know? Like but even more so, it's just like I don't know. I don't know. Whatever. This is a side tangent that we don't actually need to go down. The point is that Becky is a lovely woman and she's a mother and she and Seth are a couple now. And so obviously everything's perfect and she's going to sign that contract, guys. Don't you worry. They just need to come. We just need to come. To an agreement here.
Liz says, cause if we chase dudes run, why?
Because they're holding
some
like
guys
a
are just
pin
stupid
or a butcher knife or something.
Wait.
She's got a point because we look like the freaking desperate ones.
Okay, well, D says she's got a point because then we, as in the females, look like the desperate ones.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently,
right, and that all goes to that gatekeeper. That all goes back to that gatekeeper societal construct. You know, whatever. Let's just end this. Let's just end this, and let's just say, don't worry, Becky will resign.
Oh no, 100%. I agree. Jose says Becky's a MILF. I mean, well, she is now. You know what I mean? Since she's had a kid. But anyway, that was. I feel like we should have called the show. Let's talk about sex because that's a first here on the Wreckage. Maybe even in HMG and Channel Attitude. Who knows? But anyway,
if we're
I think that covers kind of all the important news.
We have to switch over to my life coach rates. You know, I'm going to need a minimum $80 an hour from each of you.
It's funny, man. It's a first, but people seem interested. Maybe we got something for the future. One more comment though, because Jose says women chase, then dudes should say, "Are you going to pay my bills?" Oh, don't say that, Jose. Don't say that. He's a character, man. Anyway, let's go back to wrestling, not the adult wrestling variety, if you know what I mean. I think that really covers all the major news. Vet, there's everything else just seems like, yeah, not apartment wrestling, pal. I was actually looking at something about Vince. Oh, did you hear about Ric Flair being ejected from Florida restaurant over incident with kitchen manager?
No, I've heard nothing about it.
I know, that's how we're reaching. Well, I'm sure you have, but
yeah.
Ric Flair just being Ric Flair basically gets kicked out of a restaurant. What else is there to say? Who cares? That's just Rick being Rick. And whatever. But you know what, dude? I think it's time to sift through the Wreckage. All right. But can I just say before we do, does AEW need to get the fuck out of Canada right now, man? They've been doing Canada a bit too much lately, dude. Is it just me? Feels like every second week they're there.
I don't know.
I'm not saying that as a derogatory term. I'm just saying it because I feel like they're over, using that market a little bit.
Well, as long as they're not going to the same places. I mean, look, Canada's pretty large. They got different places they could go.
But let's be honest. I mean, how many wrestling cities are there really in Canada other than Calgary? You know what I mean? Edmonton. Vancouver, I wouldn't even call a big wrestling sort of city, but they've been going there.
Isn't that where they were?
They were, as a matter of fact, in BC. Winnipeg, I guess, to some extent, is also a wrestling city, but I wouldn't call it one of the big ones. Toronto definitely is. But you get my drift, right?
Every place in the world can be a wrestling city if you promote it.
I know, but you know what I mean. I'm talking about, your traditional hotbeds of pro wrestling, if you know what I mean. Like your Chicagos, your New Yorks, your LAs.
Well, you gotta test the waters, and you gotta maybe find a new hotbed. I mean,
true.
They keep running a lot of the same cities, and people are like, you guys keep running the same cities, and then
do.
they go to branching out to cities, and now you're already tired of Canada. It's like, Canada's not the problem. Okay, the problem is the same problems they've always been since day one. So
AEW.
Well, yeah, just there. It's the growing pains of a brand new promotion that started from scratch, that people have never done this before to this degree. So let me think about it. Like the last promotion, like the last somewhat, you could even say major promotion to just spring up out of nowhere was TNA in 2002, and they stayed in the Asylum, and then they had the Impact Zone. Like, they weren't really touring, right? AEW just immediately jumped to like a full-scale WWE production level of like television and touring, and it's like that's what they were going to make this happen. People have never really done that before, so they're figuring it out as they go, and we always have to keep that in mind.
Revamped Wrestling says WrestleMania in El Salvador. Oh my God, let's do it. I mean, that's money right there.
We'll get 3 new governments before the show's over.
I mean, not to sound like a prick, and I've got a lot of El Salvadorian friends. There's quite a few of them down here in my neck of the woods. But I mean, could they afford WrestleMania really? The way it's been going in El Salvador. I mean, come on. I'm not to poke fun at it, but But why not? I mean, it should be everywhere at this point. Apparently, it's going to happen in London sooner than later. But see, I think WWE will just do it just to stick it to AEW, man.
They might. But, well, regardless, we're in Canada for Collision. Canadian Collision. That sounds like a pay-per-view you could have in
Canadian Collision. I like it. Yeah. Oh, boys, by the way, I didn't know about now. Apparently, the president is a crypto rich guy in El Salvador. Thank you for telling us.
Oh, good.
No, I didn't hear lately. All I knew, there was shit. There used to be wars going on. There used to be all sorts of shit. So, tell me some more, guys, on what's going on in El Salvador. But anyway, let's get back into the Wreckage. So please, Vet, tell us more.
Oh, well, we're starting our Collision cold with the tag team of Brian Yoli versus Top Flight.
Who?
You remember Top Flight? They're the guys that team
Flight
with Action Andretti sometimes.
Sometimes. But I didn't recognize him because apparently the fat one's gone sort of lean again.
Whoa.
Yeah. Did you notice that?
Darius Martin has become Dietus Martin?
It could be. It could be.
Yeah. Well, anyway, they did some stuff, and Claudio Castagnoli won with the running uppercut as a finish. It's not normally a finish, is it?
Actually, lately it has been.
Has it?
Have you noticed that? Yeah, I think in these last couple of matches, he has done that, I'm pretty sure.
Huh. Well, I mean, that's it. Afterwards, Brian gets on the mic and says, "Give it up for Top Flight."
Yeah.
And then he puts over AEW some more, and then they start an AEW chant. And
did you notice something important though during this putting over of AEW?
What's that?
Did you notice Castagnoli walked out of the ring and to the back the second he mentioned AEW? No, I didn't actually. The camera followed him too. I don't know if that was during the commercial.
Yeah, because it's an angle. That's why.
You think so?
I know so. I know for a fact because you'll see later.
Okay.
So anyway, but Danielson says he loves it. He loves AEW, and he's willing to get hurt or die for AEW. So, basically, that's basically his point. But he's talking about the anarchy in the arena match. He's saying, it's because he believes in AEW, he thinks he should do this. It doesn't make sense. Don't try to think about it too much. But it's part of an angle, and like I said, we'll get to it. Hey, everybody's favorite wrestler is the best wrestler in the world, right? It's Will Ospreay.
Oh, yeah, the best wrestler in the world. Cool.
Yeah, he broke Meltzer's brain. Didn't you hear that from the other guy that broke Meltzer's brain once? Do you what I'm thinking as I sit there? Look, okay, I'm on a tangent again. So,
Please.
as I listened to Jim Cornette review, what was it, Dynasty, and he's sitting there and he's talking about the Pac and Okada match, and he's saying how Pac has won him over and he finally showed Jim Cornette something and all this other stuff. And then he says Okada's basically, the short version is he says Okada's a bum and doesn't do anything and he's being overpaid and all this other stuff, right?
Well, he's kind of being overpaid, don't you think? If it's true.
No, there's no amount of money you can pay that guy that's not worth it. The question is, do they know how to get the value that they're paying him? No, of course they don't.
Question. Right.
But he deserves every penny. But this is the thing. So as I'm listening to this, and this is why a guy like Jim Cornette is disqualified from talent evaluation from now on, because he's sitting there. A guy that grew up watching Jerry Lawler is talking about Okada not doing anything in a match, right? So when you look at that, and then you look at Pac, and then now all of a sudden Jim Cornette is praising Pac, and then if you look at guys like a Will Ospreay that we're talking about, hey Jimmy, when Ospreay turned heel and formed the United Empire, who did he turn heel on?
When Ospreay turned, you said?
Yeah, when Ospreay turned heel back in New Japan and he formed the United Empire, who did he turn on?
Who was it actually? I've forgotten now.
Who are we just talking about?
Oh, okay, all right. But what are you saying though?
So, when Kenny Omega was coming out with a broom and goofing around in New Japan, but then all of a sudden he had a match, a certain 6-star match or whatever. Who was that? Who is Kenny Omega's match
Ospreay? With Ospreay, right?
No.
Oh, you're talking about Okada. Sorry.
Right?
You're talking about Ospreay then, yeah?
I'm talking about who's the common thread between all these guys getting talked about. Who was calling before Okada came around?
Oh, Meltzer. You talking about Meltzer now?
Before Okada came around.
Now I'm confused, bro. Right.
Okay, well, if you weren't chatting about South America in the chat and listening to what I was saying, then maybe you get it. All right? I'm trying to get to a point here. Will Ospreay, okay, before he was a viral sensation who did a bunch of flips with Ricochet and everybody was laughing at it. Look at these clowns flipping around.
Ricochet you're talking about.
Yes. Okay. That's what Will Ospreay was known for. The viral video of him flipping around a ring with Ricochet. 100. Then he has a bunch of matches with Okada, and now everybody calls him the best wrestler in the world. Kenny Omega's coming out with a broom, joking around, calling himself the cleaner and all this bullshit and fucking around, and he's known for doing Street Fighter moves and wrestling a doll. Then he has some main events with Okada, and now people are calling Kenny Omega the best wrestler in the world. Pac, Jim Cornette's seen every Pac match since he's been in AEW and says this guy's an idiot. He does everything in the world. He doesn't get it. He has one match with Okada. Jim Cornette starts praising Pac. Do you see the common thread here?
Okada, obviously.
Right. So anyways,
that's why
I just think it's funny how he makes all these guys and still doesn't get the respect and the stuff that he deserves. Now, people do talk about him, but I would expect people like Jim Cornette to know better what they're looking at sometimes. But anyway, the reason I bring that up is because here's Will Ospreay the Meltzer brain breaker, right? And he's taking on Lee Moriarty, and Roderick Strong's on commentary. Who do you think wins this match?
I wonder. Obviously, Ospreay wins the match because he does win the match.
Oh yeah,
Stormbreaker.
Stormbreaker.
Yeah, see,
he was going to go for the Tiger Driver, but he went for the
He should have just gone for the Tiger Driver. I'm sure he's probably going to do it to Roderick Strong. Is it at the pay-per-view they're wrestling? Is that what's happening?
I think so. Yeah,
it is a Double or Nothing, right? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure we're going to get a Tiger Driver come Double or Nothing, right? You'd think. That's the payoff, right? That's going to be the...
Not if he doesn't want to hurt poor Roderick Strong, who's had a neck surgery.
Well, maybe he goes on to just be a manager for good after this match, possibly. No, really. Actually, I'm putting it out there. He does it. He acts like he's fucked him up completely, kayfabe. And maybe he just moves on to being a manager for the time being. Or whatnot. I don't know. But I wouldn't be surprised if they actually go that way.
Yeah. Well, I think I speak for everyone when I say I can't wait to see it. But you know what? Yeah. Before we even get there, we got to worry about Shane Taylor because he's going to come in and attack Will Ospreay.
This bothers me,
too
dude.
Happy about that.
Nah, because I'm sick of it, dude. I'm sick of it because, let me guess, they're probably going to set up a match for Dynamite between them two. Actually, let me rephrase that. Has Shane Taylor actually wrestled on Dynamite yet?
Probably.
I honestly don't remember.
I couldn't tell you. They all run together for me. I never remember which matches are which. Maybe it was the Orange. No, the Orange Cassidy match was on Dynamite because Kevin Nash talked about it.
And that was against Shane Taylor, right?
Yeah.
And Nash spoke about... Okay, well, that's probably the only time he's ever been on Dynamite. Anyway, so I'm assuming that they're probably setting up a match for this Wednesday then, right, on Dynamite. Just for fucking Shane Taylor again to fucking lose and make... Not that Ospreay needs it, all right, to be real. But he's going to make him look like $1 million anyway.
Mm.
And I'm just done, bro. Like I'm happy for him being on TV all the time. That's great. Cool. But is he truly... Look, maybe he's happy. Maybe I'm just, maybe I'm wrong and he's happy to be putting guys over and whatnot. As I'm sure he would be. But there comes a time where it's like, now I want to talk about me. Do you know what I'm saying, dude? Like, he's got to, I don't know, bro. Like, he needs to speak up at this point because all I'm seeing is loss after fucking loss after loss after loss. And not that it does that much damage to him at this point, because does it really? It's like he's losing that much that I don't think it matters anymore. It doesn't mean anything to beat Shane Taylor anymore, Vet.
Not that it ever did. I mean, in AEW anyway.
Right.
It may have in Ring of Honor at one point in time.
No, you're right, bro. And
but the important thing is, if we're looking at this from the a la carte perspective, then what I got to see Shane Taylor kicking Will Ospreay. So I'll take it. That's the image that we're left with. He kicked Will Ospreay while he was on the ground, and it was funny to me, and I enjoyed it. So there you go. I'd much rather watch Shane Taylor over Will Ospreay any day of the week. And then the Undisputed Kingdom comes in and they like stand over Ospreay, and Shane Taylor just leaves. He's like, "All right, I'm done." And then the other guys come in. The boring white guys come in and stand over him.
The boring white guys. They are pretty boring, actually. Shit.
Yeah, I knew Mike Bennett was cooked when Frankie Kazarian called him the guy with the backwards hat and the wife.
Oh boy. Well, he's pretty. I mean, if you want to talk about a plain Jane wrestler, bro, honestly, nothing against Mike Canales. There, I said it. But that's what I mean. Look at him. He's literally the plainest dude. He's got no personality, really. I mean, he's always going to be known as the guy that's married to Maria Canales. I'm sorry, but it's true.
That was his best gimmick.
It was. That makes me laugh.
And everything.
Bro, come on. WWE, I take my hat off to WWE for doing that.
They
that
just
is
didn't want to go all the way with it. They
They should have, man. That would have been fucking great. I'm sure it didn't sit well with Mike really deep down, right? But fucking hell, that made me laugh, bro. Because that's the truth, man. The way they, described it is exactly what he is, dude. But like you said, if they went all in with it, it could have been great. But unfortunately, that wasn't the case.
Well, you know what is great? Mercedes Moné. She is throwing out the first pitch at Fenway, and hey, she didn't bounce it. She threw it out. She made it, bro. She has some heat on that, boy. Woo. Catcher was like shaking his hand.
Actually, before we keep going, can we talk about Moné for a moment?
Yes.
Is she unfairly getting all the backlash? Like, basically, like, is she getting too much backlash and unfairly? All right.
Yes.
Why is
and not backlash in Lyon, France?
no,
just regular old backlash.
Just regular old backlash. So, do you think it's unfair with the way she's being treated? Because to an extent, I think you're right. Because at the end of the day, is it her call or is it AEW's call to be booked the way she is? Like, she hasn't wrestled yet till Double or Nothing and whatnot. I think it's AEW that's dropping the ball on her majorly.
Well, yeah, I don't blame any of these wrestlers for their own, like, except what happens in the ropes. Like, I'll blame some of them for that, but I'm not gonna. Of course not. The presentation, the booking, like they're all trying their best. It's like for them, it's like a chicken salad and lemonade factory in there. They're doing what they can, but it's like if there's a vision, let's put it this way. Let's be fair. If there is a vision, it's hard for me to see it because I'm looking from the outside. So whatever Tony's seeing, I'm not seeing it. I need some help. But her, no. Look, I'll put it to you like this. For me, I'm a fan, and she's already, to me, she's there. There's like a point at which I guess I decide that a talent has proven themselves, at least to me. Like, okay, good enough for me. You're made. And she did that way back when in NXT Brooklyn.
Right.
Like, I'm not worried about her anymore because I know what she's capable of. The booking and everything after that, the stuff that's out of her hands, yeah. But as far as I'm concerned, she's good with me. So it's just a question of, can they get what they want out of her? I doubt it, but I mean, we'll see. That's the point. She's better as, in-ring talent. Yeah. Not so much. She's not the greatest promo ever. But the kind of promo she does gets her more heat as a heel, and I think that I'm not sure if they knew that or if they tried to bring her in as a babyface or if this was always the plan. I don't know any of that stuff. But I'm just saying, like, as far as I'm concerned, she's been made with me since she's been Sasha Banks, and I'm just excited to see what she does next. Everybody else can have their own opinions. I'm not interested.
Great point. I just needed to know your thoughts on that. But anyway, please continue.
Yeah. All right. So it's Cage of Agony versus. Oh, get ready for these guys.
Wait. Did you say Cage of Agony?
Cage of Agony. Yes.
Yeah.
We've taken the gates. It's the women have the gates, but now the Agony has a cage, right? A Brian Cage.
I see.
Versus,
not a Christian Cage.
No, not him.
Okay, all right.
Not him. Evan Rivers and the Voros twins.
Yeah, sound like Greek boys to me there,
Hey, you recognize these guys?
I don't, but they look like another pair of twins that are, I forgot their names, they're rappers, dude. Except they don't have tattoos.
No?
Someone will know what I'm talking about. They're fucking idiots, man. I think they're rappers or they're fucking social media dickheads. One or the other. But anyway, yes, the Voros twins. I have no idea who the fuck they are. They both look alike. They're both twins. I don't know what else to say. And they seem to have Greek last names. Yeah. Going by Voros. That's about it.
I didn't even get a chance to tell if they were identical twins because the match was over that fast. The
Island Boys. That's it. Thank you, Labrat. And he said it because he said, and I knew I wasn't tripping. He said, I had my money on the Indie Island Boys. Exactly. They remind me of those guys.
Greece is an island.
Well, it's not actually. Greece is not an island, but it's home to thousands of islands.
That's what I heard.
True.
Anyway, Tony Schiavone asks Brian Cage, "Why'd you turn on Swerve, you meanie?" And he's like, "Some stupid reason. You definitely don't want. If you don't want Mercedes to talk, you definitely don't want Brian Cage to talk." And Swerve comes out through the crowd, like they hit his music, but he comes through the crowd and he has a chain and he takes out all three guys.
How stupid, dude.
They
played his music.
Yeah, play my music. I'm going through the crowd. I'm John Moxley. Brian Cage. My favorite part is when Brian Cage watches, like Swerve has Toa on the stairs, like on the steel stairs, and he's got his head there on the stairs, and he's got the chair. And Brian Cage is acting like that chair is a fucking gun. Like he can't go save his guy or whatever. He just sits there and watches it happen. He just watches Swerve smash the guy's skull. So we go from beating job guys to being job guys in just a couple short minutes.
That's sad, bro. When you put it like that, Jesus. I mean, is this so? Where we're going with Swerve now? He's going to beat up his old members. Cool. We're going to have a match one after the other. Is that what the deal is going to be?
Yeah, AEW's never done this angle before, where you had to get through everybody to get to a guy.
He's sad. I don't like this run so far. It's not, like I said, man. It's not his fault. But this is not how you book your champion. But whatever, man. It is what it is.
All right. Well, he does a promo after the break. He does that thing he does. I'm not really sure. I don't think I'm a fan of it. I think it seems overly theatrical. But he does the thing where he's like he's so insane that he's laughing. He's breathing. He's panting and laughing. And yeah. But there it is. Oh, here we go. Daniel Garcia is in the house.
Cool. We go from
not
bad
in the main
to
event,
worse.
so I get to watch.
Cool.
Yeah. And it's his opponent is KM. You may remember him. You remember KM?
I actually don't. Who is KM?
Yeah, exactly. Nobody knows. He was in like I think he was in Impact during like wasn't he there when like Eli Drake was there? Like other guys? I don't know.
Yes,
he's just this big guy.
He was. There you go. Revamp said KM was in Impact 2015. So you're right. Yeah.
And then they only bring him in now to AEW like to do these jobs. Like they need a large man to do a job. So
I told you, bro. What's been the motto for AEW since its inception? And remember, me and Chris used to say this as a joke, right? But it's true. If you're over 6 foot tall and weigh over 270, you're a jobber. Straight up. And it continues on. Tell me a big guy that's over, man. Like, that's actually a big deal in AEW. And don't say Wardlow, because even he's a failure. So, is there anybody?
Well, I don't know about in the past, but Big Bill is currently under the learning tree, so he may get he may be the first one to break out and get a major run here.
Well, change the B to a D
at least.
Well, yeah, okay, I'll give him that.
Because he had a small partner, though.
See what I mean? So take the B out and adding the D, and you've got the big deal.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yes, the big dildo. There you go.
Big dildo. Well,
yeah.
We got a big dragon sleeper on KM, and that's a wrap for him. So
that's a wrap.
Daniel Garcia celebrates with his signature dance. Oh, here's an interesting one, Jimmy. It's Dax Daxon versus Dynamite Kid Tommy Billington. No, not that one,
bro.
but
does
his
kid
nephew,
look like his freaking uncle or what?
He looks exactly.
Yeah, like that is trippy, but nevertheless, he looks exactly like him, bro. It is weird, dude. Even though that's supposed to be his nephew, I'll be asking fucking his mum if she slept with the OG Tommy Billington, because it seems a bit suspicious to me. I mean, can you really look that close to your uncle, you think, dude?
Yeah, I guess you can if like, I mean, if it's the, well, yeah, you can. Well, look, this kid, look, Tom, the original Tom Billington has been in a wheelchair since long before this kid was ever born. So there's no, you know, I don't know how all of his situation works down there. I don't know if he had to chase or be chased, or if someone had to, if he had wherever he went had to have a ramp at least. But
a ramp, god damn.
Yeah, if he went and got busy with somebody else, it definitely needed to have like handicap accessibility. But yeah, so the kid does look like him, not only just in looks, but also, I mean, he hasn't done the same amount of steroids yet or the same amount of lifting, but he's like on his way on both. But he actually moves like him too, like a little
he's good,
bit.
Dude.
Not to Chris Benoit's degree, but
but I like the kid, bro. He's got something. I'd actually sign him. I just feel like the AEW are friggin' hypocrites, though. Mm-hmm. That's all. And you know what I'm getting at, right? When I say that, I won't even say it, but you know what I'm trying to say. That's the only thing. But I would sign the kid regardless. I mean, straight up.
Maybe they will. I mean, the match was okay. I wasn't really paying that close attention, but I mean, what I saw looked fine. And you know, it's Daxon. He actually gets to win. This is the first time he's ever won a singles match. Yeah, it's Dax. The first time he's ever won a singles match against anybody besides his own tag team partner. This match.
Wasn't he in the tournament at one stage?
Yeah, that's why they did that. And then
okay.
Sonic says Samoa Joe's the biggest world champion AEW has had. I'm assuming. I don't watch it.
Yes,
yeah, I think that's a big guy, I guess.
But he's not 6'2". Exactly. Thank you. Mm-hmm. So he falls short on the criteria. He's got one thing, not the other.
But we'll take it. We'll compromise on that. We'll say
compromise.
Samoa Joe did it.
He did it.
But yeah, so you know, so Daxon uses a slingshot powerbomb as a finisher, which of course he does. He's got to do something just like the fucking Tully Blanchard or something from the 80s. So he switched it up. Instead of just doing a suplex, he does a powerbomb. Great job, Dax. Good job, kid.
When's the spine buster going to come out though, man? That's what I want to know.
Just saying, I don't know. Maybe he doesn't want to put him in a wheelchair with his uncle just yet and bust his spine. So.
Well, the fact is, the kid's good, man. Good enough. I don't know. How long has he been wrestling for, dude?
I didn't even know this guy existed until today.
Oh, you took the words out of my mouth. Neither did I. That's what I mean. Where did he come from? I mean, I know where he came from, but where'd they find this kid, bro?
England, probably.
Well, look, man, sign the kid. I don't know if he should use the Dynamite Kid moniker right now. But I mean, did he have to use that? But damn it, he looks like his uncle for sure. Like a young version of him, man. I'm going to say the British Bulldogs sort of version. Not as roided up yet, though, if you know what I mean. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Even the New Japan version. It kind of looks like that. Not the one later on in Japan, though, where he was washed up. I'm talking about long before. Labrat says they found him in the woods of England.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. There he was.
He looks too tan to be out of the woods, though, Lab. Just saying.
Hey,
could be spray tan.
The sun can come through the trees, certain times.
It could.
But anyway, yeah. All right, breaking news.
Anyway. I like Don the kid, Callis, though. That's all I will say.
Breaking news, Don Callis is bringing in Jeff Cobb. Since everybody's getting hurt, like Will Hobbs is getting hurt, so we need to bring in another guy. So they're bringing in Jeff Cobb to be part of the.
So United Empire all over again?
Just a little bit.
I told you this, I think last week or the week before, but you definitely know where this is going. It's going to be the Callis family against United Empire. I mean, it has to be. Eventually.
Well, if that's the case, then Jeff Cobb shouldn't team up with the family.
He shouldn't, and I've got a feeling he'll be the one that turns on Ospreay, if anything, though. He'll be the only member that gets away from him. Maybe another one might get away. But Fletcher and Ospreay will definitely stay as a tandem. I think, anyway.
Whatever.
Who cares?
Yeah, well, let's not get ahead of ourselves. The Elite is backstage trying to dress down Christopher Daniels, but he's not having it. So he turns it around on them. He yells at them, yells at Matt, pushes him up against the wall and everything, and then he cuts a promo saying he's gonna pick Matt Sydal as his partner, and they're gonna face the Young Bucks and show him a lesson or something.
Oh, cool. Is this another learning tree?
Maybe. I think it's going to be a good old fashioned, fallen angel ass whooping.
Yeah. All I'm going to see is a fallen angel, literally, if you know what I mean.
I don't know what does that mean? Explain
He's going to
yourself.
fall and he won't get up. Put it that way.
Okay. All right. So FTR is doing a promo. Basically, what I take from this is we get Dax Daxon versus Okada-son on Dynamite this Wednesday.
Okada-son? Is he Swedish now?
Kazu-san.
Kazu-son.
Yep. And then I can hear Jim Cornette rave about how amazing Dax Daxon is in the ring, and how this bum Okada is just sandbagging and getting paid a lot of money and stealing money from Tony Khan, and he sucks and all this stuff.
Well, you know what? Even if you thought that, right? You can't hate on that. I'd be sandbagging Khan as well if I was fucking worth remotely anything like that. But that's what I'd love to know. Like, I want to know how TK thinks, Vet, because does he truly think when he signs these guys with top-notch contracts, does he think they're going to be needle movers? Like, does he truly think that? Or he just signs them because that's how much they're worth in his own mind, and WWE wish they had talent like that?
I don't know. I honestly don't know what he really thinks, but I mean, look, the bottom line is you got to take, and this is something that we definitely don't see with the WWE draft. You have to take best available if you can, whether you know what to do or not, you still, like, he sees the piece on the board and he's like, I need that. And we know that the WWE is interested in these guys too. So it's just a matter of what do the talent want and what can their agents get them? That's basically what it comes down to. So
good for him. Yeah, we're the best wrestle, right, lad, Brett? I was going to use that. I think we should use that here for HMG and Channel Attitude. So instead of we're the best wrestle, we're the best talk pro wrestling. We should take that right off them, dude.
Let's take it. Oh, speaking of wrestling, we got Thunder Rosa versus Robin Renegade.
Not Rockin' Robin?
Rockin' Robin Renegade.
Yeah.
No twin this time.
What's happened to these girls, man? They were looking so good on their time, in AEW. Then they forgot about him, and I forgot about him.
Ring of Honor.
If anything, sign these girls, man. Are they signed, even though if they're part of Ring of Honor and whatnot? Do you know?
I don't know their contract situation. I'm not their agent. But
cool.
they're a Ring of Honor if they're ever around. So, but normally, if at least I would have to assume the other twin must be injured, because if she wasn't, why wouldn't she be there? They're always together, even if they're in singles matches. So
true, maybe.
But anyway, Thunder Rosa wins with the Cobra Camel. It's pretty much a foregone conclusion. I don't know if any of the matches have been in doubt on this entire show yet. Like, they've all kind of been pretty obvious what was going to happen.
But you know what? She looked good, though, Thunder Rosa, in this match. I actually didn't mind. She's lost weight, too. She's back in shape. I don't know if you remember, but when she first came back, she had piled on the friggin' the pounds, bro, if you remember. But she lost it super quick, man. And now she's looking great once again.
Yeah. Yeah, good for her. And do you like the whole face paint? I prefer the half face paint.
I prefer the half too. What's up with the whole thing now with her? Why is she going that way?
I don't know. Is it a tribute to Sting? I don't know.
Could be.
He's gone now. I got to take up the whole face paint mantle.
maybe Sting big leagued her, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And said, while I'm here.
No, because she was always doing that. In fairness,
I'm
she always
joking.
did that.
I was only joking. Not the
well,
half. I'm talking
somebody
about
might
the
take
whole.
you seriously, Jimmy. You say some things sometimes. And you do mean
I'm talking
it,
about.
so I gotta.
No, hold on. I mean the whole face paint deal. Maybe she wanted to do it earlier, and Sting was like, no. You ain't doing that shit while I'm around here. But I'm only joking, peeps, just quietly.
Yeah, Sting would never.
No.
Let's see. Lexi is with Johnny TV and Taya, and he's gonna challenge Pac later on Rampage.
Great match on paper, but
Yep. Well,
foregone
we gotta
conclusion.
get there first. All right, next is a Hook promo, and you know how these go. They're like actually in the city, with the ambient background noise of cars honking and people walking by. And
was this Edge and Christian's vignette coming into WWE all over again?
you think you know me? You think you know me?
Yeah. Do you remember? You know what I'm talking about? That's what it felt like, dude, except in 2024.
Yep. Yeah, that's good. You know, it's Hook. I'll take it. He's going to come back on Wednesday. He's going to show Chris Jericho what he can be, I guess. So.
Has he done? Oh, let's be real, dude. What is this going to do for Hook? Absolutely nada. I just don't.
What's anything going to do for Hook on this roster?
They failed him, bro.
Look, a la carte.
Okay, fair enough.
We're gonna get. Oh, I'm sorry. We're already at the end of the show. I have more notes, but that's for Rampage. I was looking ahead here. Yeah, main event time. Edge versus Kyle O'Reilly in the Cope Open. Even though he didn't come out for an open challenge, we already advertised this match. So, you know, and if you probably saw that angle where they did the thing where he's like, you know, oh, you helped Edge in the Brody King match when he was getting beat up, but all you really wanted was a title shot. So now there's some tension between the Canadian guys. Of course. Oh no!
Just like at the start, and I forgot to mention this before with the Constagnoli and Danielson match. You know what the story was from back in 2022? Long-term storytelling, bro.
Whoa, man!
Remember that?
Good.
So good.
So good.
I just wanted to point that out.
Yeah. So anyway, you know, speaking of so good, you know, the match was pretty good. At least to me, I was just happy to see Edge, and I knew I'd immediately regret saying this, but I was happy to see Edge in a match where he wasn't using like a garbage can or some other bullshit because he can't work. So to see him actually get in there and actually have a regular match with a regular guy, and they didn't do every stupid thing in the world and was actually trying to have a contest. Like, I appreciated that. So even though maybe it's not the most exciting to some people, but most of the time when you see Edge now, it's just like him taking shortcuts. And like, it really does bring the comparison of like, people have compared AEW, even just today in this chat, like I think Todd Brantley compared them to WCW just signing a bunch of people, right? But you know who else? You know who else AEW reminds me of is ECW, where they just do every fucking thing in the world, and they have a bunch of people that, you know, some of them can work and some of them can't, and the ones that can't, for whatever reason they can't, they just take all these shortcuts. So Edge is always involved in these like hardcore matches and just bleeding all over the place and all this other stuff. So he finally has a wrestling match for a change here against Kyle O'Reilly. And like, even though I didn't care, I liked their match, you know, as much as I could for what they did.
But you didn't care. That's the thing, though, Vessel.
So a thumbs up, I guess, for the match. But
an OC thumb up.
It's orange sideways. No, I'll give it a regular thumb up just because. I can't remember the last time I didn't see Edge with a gimmick. Like he's some table breaking or some fucking stairs or some chairs or some garbage cans or a kendo stick. He's always got this. He's like the fucking like.
He's becoming
Mick
like
Foley,
he's
an ECW 97, bro.
Yeah, that's why AEW should be called All Extreme Wrestling. I've said this in the past also. I mean, if you're gonna do that shit, just say you have a show dedicated to more extreme type of shit. Maybe they should just do that as a one night all extreme wrestling. You know, some bullshit like that.
It already feels like it is. They're just not saying it.
Right, but they should start saying it. Market that shit. Why not? Just tell us that you're full of shit. Tell us he's got no rules, and then we'll be cool with it. You know what I mean?
Well, you watch Rampage, right? Or did you forget?
I didn't forget,
Okay.
but yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, like I said, I'll immediately regret praising Edge for doing this very shortly. But anyway, that was like, you know, that was the end of the Collision episode. So like it goes off the air, but then Rampage comes back on with the match. Oh, by the way, Edge won with the spear. So there you go. There was that.
That's right.
Edge won with the spear, which is also funny about something else later, which we'll mention. So I guess let's before we move on to Rampage, let's give a grade to this wreckage that we just sifted through. While you think of your grade, I'm going to go back and look and make sure everything sucked.
What do you mean you make sure? You watched it, right? I mean...
No, I know, but my notes, just in case I forgot, like, before I grade it.
Well,
go ahead, Jimmy. What do you think?
Well, while Vet looks at his notes... Wait, you read it already?
No, I was... like, I pitch it to you, and now you're like, well, while you're doing that, I was like, oh.
I know, it's true. But I might as well give my grade first then, Vet, because you are
That's
looking
what I
at
said.
the notes.
What's your grade?
So if I had to give this a grade, man, I could say an F, but I'll go a D because, you know, some of the matches kind of entertained me. First of all, the first match, even though I had no interest in it, it was actually half decent with friggin' Top Flight. They're losers though, man. That's another one. They're the Shane Taylors of the tag team division. Straight up losers. Except the only difference is they're kids that should be getting wins more. You know what I mean? Like, literally should, but they don't. But the match was kind of entertaining, but still, I didn't give a shit about it. I just didn't. It is what it is. If I had given a shit about it, it probably would have been a great match. But it was a good match for what it was. So there's that.
You're talking about that opening tag match, right?
The opening tag match, right.
Okay, yeah.
Even though there was a couple of botches in that match too, as per usual, involving Top Flight. This time it was Costagnoli, though. Oh, no, it wasn't. It was Darius, I think, that fucked up. Anyway, there was a fuck up.
As long as everybody came out with ankles intact.
They did, thank God. So there was that, and also Tommy Billington, the new Dynamite kid, the nephew, who I could have sworn is the son, but who am I to judge? Kind of impressed me. I don't know where he came from. I haven't heard about the kid ever. Have you? I mean, I haven't. I have not heard anything about him. I haven't heard no rumblings about him. I didn't even know he existed, as you said earlier. But he does now. And for what it was, the kid impressed me. Now, if I was AEW, I'd sign him ASAP. Because he's good. He's good for... How old is he, Vet? I didn't even catch the age.
I didn't know he existed. So I didn't know how old
well,
he
neither
was
did
or
I.
anything.
I've got to look him up later on. But anyway, so there's that. And then after that, for me, yeah, the main event was all right. But like you said in the chat, it went for a little way too long. And that's the standard now in AEW, especially on Collision. The main events seem to go on for forever. But so yeah, they were the three matches that were pretty decent. Everything else was just meh. So a D for me.
Okay. Yeah, it's gonna be a D- for me. Because and the only reason it's not a straight up F is because, like I said, the main event was Edge not using a garbage can. So I'll give it that. And then but all I got from my other a la carte items was Shane Taylor kicking Will Ospreay a couple times while he was on the ground, Mercedes throwing a pitch, and Hook sitting on a stoop somewhere. So like those were three very minor things that saved this from a complete F. You know? Yeah. But it took all those three things added together just to be not an F. You know, any one of those on their own wouldn't have been enough to save it from an F, because they're the briefest of moments of my a la carte items, you know? We're talking
brief.
like less than like 2 minutes of screen time almost. So
Facts.
So
That's
yeah,
true, man.
everything else I don't give a damn about. Or if it is something I wanted to give a damn about, it's like something that's going to happen on Dynamite, and they're just announce it on this show. So, you know,
And that's what this show is starting to feel like a little bit now, Vet. It feels like I don't know.
Dynamite ad?
Yeah, it does. But what's the identity now of Collision, dude? I'm not sure even they know what the identity of Collision is meant to be at this
There's
point.
no
dude.
identities. Don't say
Right.
things like that.
But you know what I'm saying. But you know what I'm trying to say, right?
Well, what would give an example of a wrestling show that has an identity?
Yeah, that's true. You got me.
See, it sounds
You got
like
me. You got me.
Yeah. All right. So look, a la carte.
but-
That's why we go a la carte.
All
That's
right,
why
all
we
right,
go
all
a la carte. That's
Maybe what I meant to say, the feel. Like when you asked me that question, I thought about it, right? I thought you're right. Actually, you're very right.
Yeah. What would
Because
you
you've
say
always said
SmackDown's
Raw,
identity is?
right?
Recaps?
Exactly. That's why you stumped me, dude. Like I literally was like, "Motherfucker, you all right? You got me."
Raw's identity is sing-alongs. SmackDown's identity is recaps. You know, like I guess
But
those shows
there's-
have their own identities.
No, but there's a
NXT's
certain
identity
feel.
is Sweet Valley High.
Oh yeah, 90210 even. I mean, what the fuck is NXT right now? I have no idea, but you're right.
It's for children. It's for children.
Dead. God damn it.
Yeah, but yeah. So I don't know, but all I know is the show gets a D- from me. So, you know, but
Yep.
then we do go right into Rampage. So we open Rampage with Edge and Kyle O'Reilly still in the ring, and they kind of do like a handshake thing, and then like a hug thing, and then like something weird happens.
And they start patching.
Yeah, they start making out.
Sorry.
What was it like?
Yeah.
Where was, bro? Well, we'll see making out later. Actually, what happened? What people? I remember because I'm in the kitchen trying to get something to eat before we record, and I had this on my phone, right on the counter, and like I hear the crowd go, "Oh," and then the announcer's like, "Whoa!" Oh, so what did Edge do when they? It looked like something weird happened between them. What happened? Do you remember?
Actually, I don't remember because the second Collision finished. I went for a piss break, so I actually missed that part. To be honest with you, man, did something actually happen?
Something happened. Well, maybe someone in the chat knows what happened, but it was like an awkwardness.
Someone in the chat, let us know.
Yeah, it was something awkward happened, and then the crowd was like, "Ooh," and then Edge just left, and then Kyle O'Reilly stayed. And
come on, you know what would have happened? You probably I was going to say something stupid, but I won't. But basically, he probably went for the handshake or some bullshit, or the United Kingdom would. Sorry, not the United Kingdom. The United. What are they called again? The United what? I fucking forget. Empire, whatever it is. See, there's too many
Underground
Uniteds,
Kings?
bro. Underground Kings, yeah, whatever the fuck.
Actually,
Maybe they
Bun B
came-
was on Impact recently, so
Oh, he was, man. And shout outs to the Bun B and RIP to Pimp C. I mean, they're legends, bro. I used to love all this shit back in the day. UGK all the way, man.
he said Zane Vicious said he went for his drawstring. Damn. Well, they're not gonna renew Kyle O'Reilly's contract then.
Imagine if that was legit, if that's what really happened, though.
I know.
Someone tell us what happened.
Yeah,
What
somebody's
the fuck
got to
happened?
know. Anyway, something happened, and the announcers were even putting it over like, what's wrong with Adam Copeland? Like, I don't know. They said something about blood. I don't know what it was. Like, did he cough up some blood? Maybe he coughed up blood.
Maybe he did go for his drawstring.
Maybe he did. I don't know.
because
Whatever.
Liz says all she remembers is they hugged. I think.
Yeah, they did the handshake, they did the hug. Then I heard the crowd go, "Oh," and then the announcer started putting something over, and they were like, "What's wrong with Edge?" So
Maybe he lost his edge.
Yeah, we know that. Well, they didn't say Edge, obviously, but you know.
I know. Well, he did lose his edge.
All right. Well, anyway, the next thing that happens is Lexi's with Claudio. Now, this is the part where, if you were still on a piss break, you might not have seen this, but this is why I know it's an angle, because I'm actually going to put Claudio over here, because Lexi asked him about why did he walk out from the match earlier, and he
so they
said,
actually asked him.
Yeah, and he said, Claudio said, because he's been, you know, like I'm cutting this way down. This was like one of the best promos I've ever seen him do.
Wow.
It's not even really a promo. It was like he was legitimately answering a question, but he was basically just saying how, like, he's been friends with Brian for a long time, and he's been by his side, but he's also watched him lose his career and all this other stuff. And he feels like with the anarchy in the arena, that's not something he wants to be a part of, because he doesn't want to be a part of that if that happens again. Like if Danielson doesn't come out, like if he dies or whatever in this match, this anarchy in the arena match, which obviously it's just going to be the phoniest bullshit ever, so he's probably not going to die. But you know,
we're gonna get
he
please
says,
don't
like,
die
he
chance now.
he basically just walks off and says, like, he can't be a part of that. Like he won't be there to firsthand witness his friend like lose his career again, or something like that. It was good.
So,
I'm not doing it justice, obviously, just trying to recap it.
Actually, you
But
are.
yeah, the last time he was with Kingston, it didn't end well. Like that, you know, this points that he brought up. So good promo from Claudio. I'll give him that.
Let me get this straight. So do you think then Claudio will be involved in this match, but to turn on Danielson?
I don't think he's going to turn on him, but that would be stupid. Okay. I mean,
don't put it past him, Vet.
Right? Yeah, I wouldn't put it past him, but still, like, it wouldn't make sense. I would hope that Claudio would turn that idea down if it was pitched to him.
Look, even Labrat is thinking that. I mean, Jesus Christ, this is AEW like booking 101, bro. You know it. I know it. Labrat knows it. Heck, probably the whole chat knows it. I've got a bad feeling about it.
Dude, if they just want to have a match, then there's another way to get to it. God, with all these turns. I'm so tired of turns. Anyway, Todd says Copeland offered a handshake and a hug out of respect as he raised his opponent's arm. O'Reilly grimaced in pain when O'Reilly tried to leave. Copeland held his grip tight with a grin. Announcers put over saying something's wrong with Adam Copeland. Yeah, I did have that note.
Yeah.
I just missed that part. I just missed that. I missed that grip, but I missed it visually. Yeah. So anyway, that was that. But and Liz says it sounded like the most realistic thing Claudio said. Like it felt like a friend being upset. That's why if you turn, it's gonna make it cheap. Like don't.
I know.
Turn. Don't do a phony wrestling.
Kingston.
Nobody believes this. Nobody believes this stuff. So don't make it cheap. You know?
Oh, and by the way, did you catch how this is from Collision though? How Tony Schiavone said that Costagnoli's from Sweden, not Switzerland.
Oh yeah, sweet.
Yeah, that popped me though because what's his name?
The meatball.
Yeah, because what's his name? Desmond Wolfe, as in Nigel McGuinness, turned around and said, Switzerland, Tony, Switzerland. And then Tony Schiavone no-sold it. Fucking funny, man. I don't know why I just thought about it now, but I had to point it out because we're talking about Claudio and it just popped in my head.
Well, there was plenty of funny stuff on commentary. I just don't take notes on that. I let it flow through and then I just laugh and
forget about it.
Yeah. There was something that happened, I think, in this match with Trent Beretta versus Dalton Castle.
Ugh.
What does that mean?
It means I couldn't care less. I can't look. I used to like fucking Dalton Castle when he had the wannabe I want it all. Remember that Queen song? I want it all.
Right. Well, his version of it.
His version of it, right?
His legally distinct version.
Yeah. But it was a good thing. It was
called Dalton Wants
Dalton. It all. And he wanted it all right. But no, for real though, man. That's when he was over. I loved him back then. Peacocks and all, bro. Like, and the boys. This version, this AEW Ring of Honor, he's a jobber, bro. You know what I mean? He's basically a jobber. And I didn't care about this match, man. And yeah, like Zane said, that will put butts in seats. Sure did. It sure did.
I mean, and even if you wanted to be excited, it's still Trent. So
And that's another thing. It was also Trent. And I don't care about this feud with Trent and him being a heel and him and Chucky and him and Orange. Just fuck already. That's what I say. I mean, it's getting to... I mean, it feels like there's a whole bunch of sexual tension between these three and they're not coming out with it. You know what I mean? It's all these flirting going on, but no fucking vet. That's the problem.
Well, Trent Beretta's finisher is a choke now. Do you think that has anything to do with it?
He could. But like Liz said, the match lasted way too long again. I was eating a kebab at this point.
I'm with you about Dalton Castle. I was like, there was a point in time when I was like, man, Dalton Castle, we got to do something with this guy, man.
I was dead serious, dude.
And then for whatever reason, he had that back injury and he was never the same after that.
And it went down after that, man. It's true. It's not his fault.
And he never took the back brace off because he doesn't want to diet. So he puts the back brace on to hide his lower abs and hold it all in.
And he did gain weight. Let's be honest, though. He did.
But yeah, Dalton Castle, there was a period of time where I was like, yeah, Dalton Castle.
And put it this way, man, to get a guy playing a gay dude over like that is hard, bro.
Androgynous.
No, I'm not. But this is my point, though, because it's hard to get a guy like that over. It is what it is, right? Am I wrong? It really is. But they managed to get him that over that, like, even me was, rooting for him, bro.
What does that mean? You, Jimmy? What is that? You have something?
No, I'm just saying. Generally,
you hate monger?
No, don't say that. Don't say that.
What if he was Indian? What would you do then?
Hey, if he was Indian, you got me. No, but seriously, if he was Indian and it was still the same shtick, I probably would still like him, dude. And that's my point. The fact that they managed to get people that probably weren't into that type of stuff into a character like that, that should tell you something. That's how fucking good he was at one point. You know what I mean? And now look at him. You know what I mean? Like it's sad, bro.
Yeah, there was a point where I could see Dalton Castle and the whole gimmick as like at any stage of the business. If you're talking about
for sure, man.
Ring of 100%. Honor champion or
absolutely
top of the card WWE WrestleMania, whatever.
I'm telling you, bro. Yeah, man.
Those days 100%. Are gone now for whatever reason. Nothing against him. I don't think it's mostly him. I think it's just
bad timing.
Just hasn't been the same after the injury. Right. No one's treated him the same. They haven't booked him the same. It's just different. And whatever he's done in Ring of Honor, I am not into it.
Right, and we know that, Josh. We know that he had the boys. The boys have always been.
Well, yeah, the boys in this too. Gimmick. They were just different boys. You still had people coming out doing the whole thing.
He did get his OG boys back.
To watch it on Rampage, it was like, man, this is the most elaborate entrance I've ever seen for a guy that I know is going to lose. You know what I mean?
It's sad, bro. It's sad. It's straight up sad. They know how to fuck talent up, man. But to be fair, he was on the way down even in the old Ring of Honor after his back injury anyway, dude. Let's be honest.
Well, I think we have been honest. Deanna has a promo. She's being honest.
I can't stand her promos, dude. I'm sorry.
She did sneak in a mention of her husband when she's talking about the front toward enemy.
Don't sign him. Do not sign him, please, TK.
Which is a T-shirt that he has.
Her husband is got to be one of the most boring motherfuckers out there ever, dude. I'm sorry. I know you love Impact. Well, actually, you don't love Impact, but you know what I mean. Like you have to watch that shit. Her husband sucks, dude. I know he used to be a war veteran and stuff. Like he was part of the military. That's great. I take my hat off to him. But man, look at him, dude.
No, I won't. But here's what we are going to look at. Well, sadly, we have to look at JD Drake, but we get Brian Keith here. It's the bounty hunter. And apparently somebody called out, somebody made whaling legal again because he's out here to hunt JD Drake down. Yeah. Hey, a nice win for Brian Keith.
Keithy. Yeah. What do they sign this little guy for, man?
Well,
Really?
he's a big business bounty hunters in Boston.
Oh,
Brian.
yeah. Oh, I see. He doesn't even have his OG theme song anymore, which automatically, I know it's just music, but music is a big deal to a wrestler, man. Like, even as a fan, if I dig your tune, I can start digging you too. You know what I'm saying? Like, they took that away from him, and now he's got nothing but his height. You know what I mean? And his bounty hunter. Where's his lasso, for crying out loud?
I don't know. Maybe JD Drake thought it was a strand of spaghetti and sucked it up backstage.
Maybe he did. Maybe he did.
I don't know. I don't know, but he does use the diamond dust as a finish. So, you know.
But I'm with Labrat, man. If you're gonna have a bounty hunter fucking gimmick, and I'm sure we've said this before, right? I know the answer. Yeah, I know the answer, Todd. I know, for fuck's sake. But go all in with it. If you're gonna fucking have a bounty hunter character, right? Why not? Even if it's funny, good. I want to laugh sometimes, right? Tell me, it wouldn't be funny if you fucking if you hogtied fucking JD Drake for real, like fully. Put an apple in his mouth too. Put him on a spit. Whatever the fuck. Even Daxon and Cash. Imagine FTR getting lassoed.
Well, the law's already dealing with Cash Cashin, so I guess Brian Keith doesn't feel the need to interfere. You know,
he doesn't. He probably already
now if he does get convicted and he escapes, then we can send Brian Keith after him.
And there should be vignettes of like sort of similar to like Dog the Bounty Hunter type of shit, right? Where you see him going after motherfuckers, whoever it is. It doesn't have to even be a wrestler. You just see him at work. Tell me those little vignettes wouldn't be fucking cool for him, man. You know what I mean? Like, give me something to why should I care for a bounty hunter who's not really a bounty hunter and shows me nothing of his bounty hunter skills on television, but he's called the bounty hunter.
Yeah, I guess you're just supposed to just take it at face value. I mean, we already talked about this back when we said what they should do with them. They obviously haven't done it. And that's probably, it's, you think about it. We, like I said, we should send him after everybody that has a code of conduct violation that, now that we know what a fireable offense is, which is shoving and choking a guy, then anybody, like, he should have gone and got swerved for hitting Toa with that chair.
100%. Perfect. Keep going, please.
Yep. Just everybody that does it after he should have got Shane Taylor for attacking, Will Ospreay after the bell. Like, he should just go and rope up everybody. Now, I realize I just named 2 other black men, but like, still, like, Brian Keith is black as well, so it's fine, right? And but there's plenty of white dudes that commit crimes. People of all ethnicities commit crimes in AEW. Televised crimes, filmed crimes,
crimes.
Bounty hunter Brian Keith can bring them all in and just dump them at right outside Tony's office door.
Right, he should be Tony's. He should be no shit. That is such well put, dude. No shit. He should be AEW's bounty hunter, bro. Anyone that fucks up in the company, anything, he literally fucking hog ties them and sends them straight to TK for punishment. You know what I mean? Even if it's kayfabe, I don't care. Tell me that wouldn't be fucking pretty funny and not actually pretty cool at the same time. Honestly, it's different. Tell me, I know people would shit on it. Don't get me wrong. But it would be different, dude. No one's ever done that, and we've said that everything's been done before in pro wrestling. Well, not that. That hasn't. All right, I'm just saying, it actually hasn't, dude. And Todd, see, this is why he's the comment king, bro. He should call himself the catering hunter and go after every wrestler that's back in catering not being used. But what's the punishment for just being lazy?
And then we get a battle royal.
What they call it, the fucking the catering casino battle royale.
So might as well.
Oh shit, that is fucking
anyway.
Funny.
So that's never going to happen. But here's what is going to happen.
Oh, but by the way, he's not offended as a black man.
Yeah, I saw that. I appreciate that, Todd. I didn't think that you would be, but we're just covering all the bases here. Just like Mercedes Moné throwing out that first pitch, money.
Money.
So here's why I regret praising Edge, because he's behind a chain link fence for this promo where he challenges Alistair Malachi Black for a barbed wire steel cage match at Double or Nothing.
What? A barbed wire
Barbed
steel
wire
cage match.
steel cage. So all you got to do is not climb the cage and you'll be safe from the barbed wire. But we got to have that now.
This reminds me of TNA's, what was it, electricity fucking cage again? What was that called again? The electric cage?
Yeah, what was it called?
Fuck, man.
There was the
I know we know
Thunderdome
this.
match, but that was WCW.
Oh, well, that's... There's all sorts of stupid, weird gimmick matches in WCW. Fuck, what was it?
Yeah.
Something lethal. Was it lethal something? Lethal Lockdown.
Lethal Lockdown was the
Yeah,
pay-per-view,
that's what it
right?
was. Yeah, but
Or-
that's what the cage match was based on. The pay-per-view
Okay.
name was
And then
based off the
didn't
cage
it not
match.
work or something like that? Like,
Yeah. I think with the Dudley Boys, bro, when they were in the match, their match, it didn't work.
Oh,
Actually, I don't think any of the matches have worked, bro. Now that I think about it, man.
fuck.
That's
Oh, well.
TNA, classic TNA, bro, right there.
LOL TNA.
Yeah.
All right. Well, it's time for Deonna Purrazzo versus Lady Frost here.
Frosty.
So, friend of the show, Lady Frost,
She
doing
is.
her
as a matter of fact.
gymnastics, or murder gymnastics, as it's now known, according to
Yeah.
commentary.
Cool. Murder gymnastics. What is it? I don't think that sounds good, even though she is a friend of the show and stuff, but straight out, like, does that not sound stupid for pro wrestling when you call it that? Why murder gymnastics? That just makes it sound fake to me.
Well, yeah, nobody's dying, so
Oh yeah. What does murder gymnastics even fucking mean? Like, really?
I guess it's just a catchphrase that hadn't been taken yet for obvious
Okay.
reasons. I don't know.
Sure, whatever. I mean, whatever blows her hair back. Whatever, man. I don't know.
Oh, the whatever blows her hair back is the winds of Imperial Iceland, where she's from. But yeah. So here's an interesting one. Like the finish of this match was, she had, Lady Frost took like 10 years to climb the top rope, and then Deonna pushed
Right.
her and she fell down, and then she hung her upside down like the Tree of Woe position, and then Deonna did like a running spear. She speared Lady Frost and then just pinned her 1, 2, 3. And the announcers were like, a running shoulder to the stomach from Deonna Purrazzo.
A running shoulder.
Yeah, I was like,
Okay.
yeah, it's called a spear, but that's fine. As Edge just did that like 30 minutes ago.
Why
That's
would they
gotta
call
be-
it that?
It's okay if mine is called the running shoulder, so it's okay. Adam Copeland, I didn't steal your finisher.
You think he big leagued them as well?
He might have now. Or the only other
fucking
thing
hell.
I could think of was like something like, So she hits her with that move, and Lady Frost is like, "Ow, I'm hurt for real. Just pin me." Like that. The only other thing I could think of, like, because
Maybe.
Deonna's finishers are either she uses the Venus de Milo, which is the double, like the Rings of Saturn double hook gimmick, and if she uses a pinning move, she uses the Queen's Gambit, which is the stuffed pile driver. So I've never seen, she doesn't win matches with a running
Maybe-
shoulder to the corner.
Maybe she did get injured. Maybe she got
Yeah.
winded or some shit. I mean, there's a
didn't
possibility.
look-
I haven't heard nothing.
It didn't look bad or anything, but I don't know. Like,
I'm sure we
maybe-
can find out, though. Maybe we should. You know what? We'll find that out.
call. Yeah, you text John Enright, and then
Yeah, I'm going to tell John to ask
We'll get
fucking.
to the bottom of this. So, anyway, yeah. After this, Rosa comes out. Thunder Rosa comes out because I forgot to mention, I was so busy putting over her husband that Deonna actually said in the promo, the promo was on Thunder Rosa. She was cutting a promo on Thunder Rosa. So Thunder Rosa now comes out here with the chair and like chases off Deonna Purrazzo. Deonna runs. And so I would think that I would say we could send Brian Keith after Thunder Rosa, but she didn't actually get to do anything, so maybe it's okay.
Just for being a poser, man. She should just fucking, whip her up.
Yep. Wanted, dead or alive, posing.
Wanted. Yeah.
Yeah.
Have her face on there, bang. And I'm not talking about Mick Foley. Pun intended. No. I mean, bang, bang. Yeah. Anyways.
All right.
So that was Rampage, right?
Speaking of, no, not yet. Speaking of bang bang, we got a video from the Acclaimed. A music
I'm
video.
glad you brought them up.
Well, I had
before
to
you
next.
Well, right, before you do talk about it though, did you hear about good old Max Caster and what he said on the Chris Van Fleet podcast this past week?
No.
You didn't even hear about it?
I heard that he said something, and I saw that he was on there, but I didn't actually listen to it.
Well, talk about clowns and delusional. This guy truly thinks he's one of the locker room leaders in AEW. No shit, he said that. He thinks he's one of the best, and he doesn't like any WWE guy getting signed up to AEW because that's a person trying to take his spot, and he doesn't appreciate when someone's trying to take his spot. But apparently he's the AEW locker room leader, dude. I couldn't take him seriously by him saying that, but if that's true, I wonder why. Yeah, like Todd said in the chat, I wonder why AEW is so fucking ridiculous and leaderless if you got a so-called leader in the name of Max Caster, because he'd be so the wrong person to be a leader. But as Todd said, featuring locker room leader Max Caster. Should be his new gimmick.
Do locker room leaders get suspended for their heading to the ring raps?
They do now. So with Keith when you need him right now, bring him out.
Yeah, lasso this guy.
Yeah, fuck this guy. But yeah, I just thought that was a little interesting. The guy's a fucking is a puns, bro. He's a fucking idiot for saying that. I lost even more respect for the guy for just saying that, because the joke would be on him if he's being legit. I'm telling you, it wouldn't surprise me if it's a rib on him where they all act like they listen to him, but really they're laughing behind his back, bro. I can picture that.
So he's not working. He really meant this.
He really meant it.
Because AJ Francis was on Chris Van Vliet, and that was so ridiculous that I had to believe he's just a genius worker, because there's nobody that can believe that about themselves.
Trust me, dude.
Right?
He was being dead serious, man. Like,
how do
you have
know,
to see
though?
it.
What about Max Caster has ever been dead serious?
Why would he say that though on Chris Van Fleet?
I don't know.
I don't know, bro. You got to check it out, and then you be the judge.
He thinks he's doing something interesting. I don't know.
He's a weird cat, bro.
I don't know. I haven't heard it, so I can't speculate. I just, I don't know. It seems weird, but
check it out, dude. I'm telling you.
Chris is a character himself. I
actually
he's a
did
top
listen
guy,
to
dude. The Edge one,
I haven't.
And
I
it's
haven't listened to that yet.
I know everybody loves Chris Van Vliet and puts him over, but to me, he's just like the male Denise Salcedo. Like,
I see where you're coming from. No, you're right.
Like, oh my God,
right.
we're both Canadian. Oh, your entrance
Wait,
music
is
so
Canadian?
cool, huh?
Is Salcedo Canadian?
No, I'm talking about Chris Van Vliet talking to Adam
to
Copeland.
Edge.
He's
Sorry,
like,
yeah.
He's like, I can't believe we're both Canadian. This is a dream for me. Canadians love each other. Your entrance music is so cool. It must have been so cool for you to like, I don't know. He's just
pull your pants down now.
He's basically Denise Salcedo, but everybody loves Chris Van Vliet.
I hate Denise, but I'll tell you why with Chris before you continue. I used to not like Chris Van Fleet, but then I noticed the motherfucker. Not only does he follow me on Twitter, right? Not that I'm bragging, I'm just saying, right? But I've spoken to him on numerous occasions, dude, when I thought he would never reply. So because of that, he gets kudos from me, and he's, a stand-up dude just for that reason. So I'll give him that, you know what I mean? Other than that, yeah, I'm with you. He's definitely the male version of Denise Salcedo.
I don't mind. Look, I don't mind either one of them for what they do. They're just marks. That's all. It's nothing about like personally. I don't begrudge them anything. I don't begrudge their fans or whatever. I'm just saying, like, I think it's weird that people like to drag Denise, and it's only because she has that voice in that way that she talks. But Chris Van Vliet is the exact same thing, except a man.
No, you're right. Yeah, you're right. I see exactly where you're coming from.
But anyway,
see,
that's
I don't
fine.
even know how she's got a following, man.
It's because she's a cute girl. That's why. So
Is she really though? Oh yeah, okay, cute. That's it. Really,
Bro.
I mean,
in that side of the wrestling business, how many are there?
that's true. That's true. No, you're right.
She's
No,
like a rare
100%.
Pokemon. So, anyway, the Acclaim video, I actually liked it. I like this video. I like this song. It was good. Regardless of what Max Caster is like in real life, or if he's a locker room leader or whatever, I actually dug this particular track. Here's something I didn't know if I should dig. Scorpio Sky. He's there and he's got this video, and it's like it seems like he has a inspirational gimmick now. Like he's some sort of like a Tony Robbins type. Like I just put one foot in front of the other and I reach my destination. Like, what are you talking about? What happened to the worst town
Maybe
we've
he's
ever
Mark
been
Mero.
in? Yeah, is he Mark Mero?
But Tony Robbins, he's the OG fucking inspiration. You know what I mean? Inspirational guy. I don't know how that guy made millions of dollars like he did. He's the biggest fucking worker on the planet. And I'm talking about Tony Robbins. But yeah, I don't know what the fuck is up with this, man. Speaking of a friend, maybe we need to ask Jargo about Scorpio and what the hell's going on there, because Jargo is actually good friends with Scorpio Sky. Shout out to Jargo. Yeah, he's been on his show numerous occasions, dude. Even when Kobe died, he was on the show just to talk Kobe, as a matter of fact, on Jargo's show. So I'm going to ask Jargo that. What the hell is this shit? And I forgot all about Scorpio Sky. And look, I'm a fan of his, not being biased or anything. I think he's got a lot of potential, man. Always has. But the guy is mid-40s now at this point. And all this start and stopping and being injury prone all the time. I don't trust his body anymore to even take him serious. So, cool.
Well, Jimmy, if you just put one foot in front of the other, eventually you'll reach your destination. So.
Well, if it takes 100 years and you're dead by then, so be it.
Let's take this one promo at a time.
let's do that.
And which brings us to our main event. Looks like there's been enough talk.
Touche.
It's Pac versus Johnny TV. So it's a battle of the abs, I guess.
I guess it is.
Yeah, look. You can kind of trust these guys to do stuff and be all right, you know, like kind of.
It's like watching an Olympic diving fucking session, bro. Let's be honest. These two guys wrestle like they're Olympic divers, bro. If you get my drift.
Well, I love to see Cornette put it over. Then, like, when he takes a Pac, you know.
Am I wrong though? Like, really? Am I wrong in saying that these two literally wrestle like they're divers?
Yeah.
I'm just saying. I love Pac, but
at least Taya was out there for Johnny TV to make out with, which he actually did at one point during the match, and which they actually did during the backstage interview too. But I forgot to mention it. They just started making out, which was funny. So they're definitely having fun, but. They're on Ring of Honor, so nobody's watching. And then it just looks like they just show up on Rampage out of nowhere because you know, so you're telling me you have Johnny Mundo and his wife
right.
And they're not even good enough to be on Rampage weekly or Collision weekly. Like, they're on Ring of Honor for what reason? Like, Ring of Honor is where some of these people should definitely be. And then I would think that, like, I don't think anybody's going to tune in to watch Johnny TV, but I'm just saying, like, he should be elevated above the Ring of Honor level at this point.
You're right. And why call him Johnny TV when he's not even hardly on TV?
Yeah, Johnny Internet? I don't know. Johnny Honor Club?
Johnny Streamer or some shit. Yeah, Johnny Honor Club. I think that's the name. That is fucking good. Yeah, well, that was too good.
Revamp Wrestling says, I think Morrison injury prone by now. No, he's not. He's just on Ring of Honor, which is worse than being injured, in my opinion. At least when you're injured, you have an excuse.
I I don't know what to tell Johnny Elite. You know what, Josh? I was thinking they were going to call him Johnny Elite, but they didn't. For whatever reason, it's Johnny not on TV, but he is today. Or yesterday. But you know what I mean.
Yeah. Well, anyway, regardless, Pac gets the tap out win. He locks that weird like octopus rings on him and taps him out.
Octopus rings of octopus.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about, right? That thing he does.
Yeah, I know.
Like he climbs up on him. It looks like he's gonna do like a crucifix pin, but then he like does like a crossface while they're standing up, and then he like pulls them down and like. Yeah,
it's
like
basically a modified fucking STF.
Yeah,
the calamari, I like it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's something. He does something. he does the what a maneuver on him.
The squid.
Yeah, and then we already have an octopus in wrestling. We don't have a squid, so maybe that
or a calamari.
The bastard squid.
The bastard squid.
Yeah. Well, anyway, after he wins, the gun club comes. The gun club comes up on the Tron or whatever, and they cut a promo on him, and Jay White says, you know, you better stay out of gun club business, or you know, whatever. He's got his gold bat.
Vet? What are you saying?
Bat and,
is this officially now no more Bullet Club Gold? Is this like just the Bang Bang Gang now because AEW can trademark that shit and own it?
I think they go back and forth. I don't really know.
Okay, which I'm not mad about because I like that name. The Bang Bang Gang makes total sense, right? I mean, Bullet Club, Bang Bang Gang.
Bat, so
okay, then why they called the Bang Bang Gang
somewhere? And they got all those belts.
I forgot. Right, I still don't like how they're doing this to fucking Jay Vet. I'm sorry, I can't stand it, bro. Because he's not hard to book.
A la
carte.
We get it. We get Jay's appearance at least. At least he shows up and speaks words, and I'll take it. I'm starving.
I'll take it too.
I'm starving too. Lay off me. I'm starving. I want something, and this is a crumb, but I'll take the crumb. So, but that's it. That's it. We just leave. We leave the show with Pac standing in the ring, just staring like a zombie at these guys on the screen.
Do you blame him?
That's it. He's a bastard zombie now. A bastard zombie squid.
The squid. I love the squid, man. I mean, seriously, the squid, he's got to change it to the squid. And the bastard, look, man, I'm a fan of Pac. But again, until I see something long-term with this guy, and which they never really have done since he's been with this company, what's it to look forward to with Pac or whatever you want to call him? I mean, at this point, you might as well turn him into Mighty Mouse. It'd be something. I mean, maybe Vince wasn't wrong after all.
Well,
I mean, think about it,
We're going to get a match with Jay White.
Yeah, but Jay White's going to lose. That's what I'm fearful about, dude. If he loses, I'll be pissed. Like, pissed.
I don't think he will.
And is Pac a babyface now? So he's a babyface, right?
I guess.
Okay. Another thing is,
though.
See, that's what I was going to get at. Was Vince really wrong about calling him Mighty Mouse? Think about it. If this guy knows professional wrestling so much, why would he call himself Pac and Bastard? Why? In pro wrestling, think about that, Vent. Really, it's a serious question.
I guess the Pac thing came from his abs.
Okay, then why not call yourself a Pac? Then why is he a bastard? He's got no dad?
Maybe. Well, maybe his dad didn't get married. Maybe his dad was Tom Billington. I don't know.
Gee. That'll make you. I'm being serious.
The way I understood it, right? And I'll relate this somewhat to me.
Okay.
The way I understood was that they started calling him Pac because of his abs, and then he just kept that as a wrestling name.
Well, that's still lazy. I didn't give a fuck.
I know it is, right? And I agree with you. So he should have said no, but I don't I don't know all the circumstances, and I could be wrong about what I just said. So I'm not sure. For me, okay. When I was at OVW, I did my gimmick. The gimmick was a tag team. I was Brian Alvarez's favorite tag team. Army of Two. It was a military gimmick. The idea was not that we're in the military, because that's been done, like where guys are like, hey, I used to be a soldier, and all this stuff. The idea was that we were just pro wrestlers, but we were delusional about the way we approached the business. Like it was, we were declaring war on everybody, just the two of us. So the idea was that
Army of Two, right?
Yeah, we were. The idea was we were kind of like we lost it, but we were pro wrestlers. That was the gimmick, was pro wrestlers.
I totally
it wasn't
get
that
it,
we were the army guys that were just wrestling for some reason, right?
You're going to war with every other wrestler base. I totally get it, man.
So we had so like my partner was Agent Johnson, I was Agent Williams. It was like the mysterious, like, we don't know their full names, we only know them as this. They have generic sounding names, like you would make up a fake name like Jones or whatever. So
technically that's your shoot last name.
It's my shoot name, but I'm just saying it worked, and that was his shoot name too. Johnson and Williams was like, it sounds like code names, but right. So that's how we did it. But when we did promo practice, like when we do the promo portion of the training, right? So Rip called me the Vet because it was ironic. Like, he gave me the name the Vet when I signed up for his class as a rookie.
Right.
So he was making fun of me being brand new, but acting like I knew it all already, right?
Right.
Which he did that before he knew anything about me. So he was just doing it as a joke. It had nothing to do with anything I had done or whatever. So I just went with it. So when he gave me that nickname, I used that he did to do promos. So for the class,
that's smart.
In front of everybody, the promos I did was like those grizzled, like the guy with the Zubaz pants and the bandana and the fanny pack and the cigarette.
Yeah.
Like, I'd be like, all right, listen up, Vet's talking. I've been around this, I've been up and down these roads and all this, like I did that, but that was just, but everybody popped on the stuff I was doing.
Oh,
and they would say, you should do that character on TV. And I was like, no, the character's for you. The gimmick is
the boys.
Yeah, it's exposing the business. Like,
right.
I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't do anything to expose the business, right? So I did that to entertain them behind closed doors, but I wouldn't do that as a character on TV because whatever. So I wouldn't call myself the Vet on TV. I wouldn't call myself the Vet on house shows. I was my own gimmick. And so what Pac did was what I didn't do. He let his nickname become his gimmick name, which you can't do that. And he stuck with it, I guess. Well, I mean, he could have changed it. After he was Adrian Neville, he could have, when he went to AEW, he could have changed his name to whatever he wanted, but...
Well, he was Pac before WWE.
Yeah, I know. I'm saying, but that could have been a fresh start. That could have been his fresh start to get out of calling himself Pac, but he went back to it.
Yeah, it's strange.
Well, that's his choice.
Well, according to Harvey Uchiha, and this makes sense, it probably is the story, but he says it came from him having defined abs at a young age, and his dad calling him six-pack sarcastically when he started wrestling. So he called himself Pac as a play on that. That's still pathetic.
Yeah, he shouldn't have. I don't agree with that. But whatever, it's his choice, just like the Meltzer stars. Like, hey, it's your choice. Do whatever you want.
I guess.
I can take it as seriously or as not seriously as I want, but I'm just saying, like...
But you can't market that shit.
Yeah, if people call you that, if it's your dad, if it's other wrestlers, you don't go with that. It's just not good.
And he should know that. That's what's sad. Right.
Whatever, who cares? It's as good as any other name. Sure, go ahead.
But I'm intrigued though about your promos now, dude, and stuff.
I mean,
but is there anything on YouTube?
No.
Damn
Did you not hear what I just said?
I know. I did hear what you just said, but still, is there anything though with you at all?
It's
and even if there was, you won't fucking tell me. There's no. I bet you there is, right? But there's no chance of finding it.
It's all up to whatever Ben Hamin uploaded when he had control of that stuff.
He had control over that at one stage?
Yeah, I believe
I'll
he had
pretend I never heard
access, and
that.
there's things on YouTube on his channel, but
I've seen that, yeah.
I don't know what he has. Like the stuff that's up there is up there. If you can find it, go for it. It's nothing. None of the stuff that I'm actually proud of really made it up there. So it's like, if you find something of me on YouTube, it's not gonna be my favorite. There's probably one of me chopping Brad Maddox into oblivion, but
that would have been great to see. Come on, it's Brad Maddox.
Well, find it yourself. But anyway,
Have you got in your own personal stash anything of you that you haven't put out there?
I think I have some stuff on DVD, maybe.
Oh, cool. All right. I know I'll never get to see it.
Stuff on VHS I haven't transferred over, but whatever.
Okay.
I mean, that's, neither here nor there, as Big Ray would say. The point is, I just wanted to say, like, this is how certain guys can get stuck with things. Like, you wonder, like, why is somebody called that? Or why did they do this? Or whatever. Sometimes it's just like they get pressured to go with something and maybe they regret it later. I don't know.
Say it.
So I don't know if I don't know if he loves the fact that he's called Pac now.
Yeah, maybe.
But maybe he feels like he's stuck with it.
Well, whatever, that's his choice. So whatever, but yeah, cool on him. But good luck at the same time. I mean, shit, he's successful. Don't get me wrong. I'm talking like he's a jobber. He's not a fucking jobber, but I just don't.
He's gonna
I don't
do
like
his job
the name.
with Jay White, though. I know that.
Well,
do that.
He better. He
now available
fucking do that.
in season pass number 4 of Fight Forever. Get Jay White. Download Jay White.
Do you honestly think though, when they have their match, that Jay White will go over? Do you think so? It's a hard one to actually predict.
Probably.
Okay, let's see. Probably. It's not for sure. But you're probably right. I'm sure the Bang Bang Gang will get involved. There'll be some sort of fuckery finish. And, yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
Well,
but that's Rampage.
That's Rampage.
Hey,
and we don't
Rampage.
give letter grades for Rampage. I'll call it the uncaged portion of the Wreckage. We'll do what AEW did. I couldn't be bothered doing a fucking separate, because it's kind of silly when I think about it. Because we go from here, look, hold on, peeps, and wait till we do. Like it's sort of dumb. So that's why I didn't do it.
We'll give him a one stop.
Well, what's going on with Rampage, dude? It's either on Wednesdays, it's either on Saturday. I know it's because of the NBA and whatnot, and the NHL, whatever, right? But at this point, you might as well turn it into the third hour of Wreckage, I think. I mean, would you be down with that? I mean, Wreckage, Collision, sorry. I'm sorry to say.
I'm not down with that. I want less.
That's true.
I want less TV to watch.
Josh said a great comment. AW pay forever video game. Did you see that bullshit, bro?
What?
They just released another season of the Fight Forever game.
I just said that.
Oh, well.
Jay White. Everybody
Edge.
download Jay White right now.
I saw, it wasn't Edge. Isn't Edge the fucking cover guy for this new season pass, whatever the fuck?
Who cares about him? Jay White's in it.
But how the fuck does these guys, but how do they do this, man? Like, I've never seen a video game like this. You know what I mean? Like, it's just, it's bad, dude. No video game does this the way they do it.
Switchblade Jay White.
Okay,
available
fine.
now.
I bet you the Switchblade Jay White on WWE 2K24 core that someone created looks better than the fucking Fight Forever one.
But it ain't official.
It's not, but still. I got to check it out, though. Yeah, bang, bang, indeed. Click, clack. Anyway, that was the Wreckage / Uncaged, I guess.
Uncaged Wreckage.
Yeah. Actually, that's a good name for this week. The Uncaged Wreckage. Sounds a bit weird, but still. We're uncaged for that Wreckage. And that's the end of the show. But Vet, I think we got to talk about the elephant in the room, right?
Right. Not Gary. We already showed
Not
Gary
Gary.
earlier.
Definitely not Gary. But, yeah, man. I mean, RIP to our very own Mike Verde, man. Formerly known as Media M5, as everyone will know him in the chat. Honestly, peeps, I'm still in shock about him passing away. I want to thank Liz as well for telling me, what was going on and how it all went down, which is shocking because I just spoke to the guy. I mean, no shit, like a week and a half ago, man. And I didn't. I knew what he was going through was dead serious. Like I said, he called me up. We're talking over the phone, and but you know, I should have known how serious it was from last week. I think when we were doing the wreckage, funny enough, when he said in the chat, you know, please pray for me, you know, basically, and you know, I just didn't, because you know, the one thing about him that I could say personally, and I'm not going to go deeply into it because you got to tune in this Wednesday for the Next Level podcast where we'll go in more in depth with, you know, with you, Vet, Big Ray, and myself, where that show will totally be dedicated to Mike. I don't know how we're doing this. This is, you know, Ray will find out soon enough with how we're doing it, but
Yeah.
I just didn't realize how serious it is and was. And I just thought, I don't want to say he was Superman. Like I said, he told me, he showed me what he was going through. And I don't know, man. It just, life is just so like fragile, dude. You know what I mean? We're here one second, gone the next. And this year alone for me, I've had a lot of friends pass away. But this one, like I said, man, it still hasn't sunk in because I'm still waiting for him just to like, you know, he used to love busting my balls, bro. Like, I'm telling you now, like, he'd be calling me. Like, I'd have to text him, like, dude, I'm fucking busy or, like, whatever. But he just kept calling. And it used to make me laugh now that I think about it. And weird enough, I'm going to miss that, man. Because, you know, we've had a lot of, like, deep talks, man. You know, even, you know, when I've needed help, he's been there, man. The one thing about him, he's always there for anybody that needs a helping hand for anything, man. And yeah, it's hard to describe, man. And it's just, I still can't believe, you know, he's gone. I just wish, like, you know, I don't know, you know, where his funeral's happening, if it's in Tennessee or New York. But if I was in New York, man, I would seriously would have attended it. But you know, I'm all the way down here, unfortunately. But nevertheless, he was still a friend. He was a big part of all our shows. You know, he was one of our, you know, number one listeners, man, and he will be truly missed.
Yeah, like you said, Mike was all heart because he would not only here, like anywhere, he was a big community guy, a big family guy. Like whether it's, so he'd be here and he'd be supporting what HMG is doing. And
Always,
then
man.
he'd be supporting what the PWC is doing. Like when we work with other people, then he goes over there and he supports that. Or like if I'm just doing stuff on my own, then he comes and supports me. And then if people come in to my stream and then he gets to know them from that sort of community, and then they do their own streams and he's over there in that community. Like he was just such like always networking and just being a big part of making community happen. And like you said, he'd be calling you, you know, and he'd be really like, you know, he would always talk about like, you know, oh, I want to start doing this. I want to start doing this. Like he had these ideas and everything that he wanted to do. And just always, like you said, busting balls, having a good time, making jokes, right. making people laugh. You know, he really was like the nucleus of a lot of communities, you know, everywhere I would go, like he would already be there somewhere doing something, you know, like always, I'd see him interacting and just like,
right.
You know, and so he really did enjoy the community aspect of what we do, you know? So he's never like, he's not gone. Like we're always going to think about him. We're always going to talk 100%. About him because he's just an unforgettable guy. You could never, you just cause he's off this earth. Like we're not going to stop talking about him because he's done so much stuff over the years that we constantly are reminded of and we joke with each other about, you know? That's the kind of guy he was.
Man. Absolutely, man. And funny enough, you know, at the start of the show when I had technical difficulties, right? No shit. In a way, I started thinking of him like he's trolling me with all that shit happening, right? Because it's just convenient that, like, just the way it happened and all that. But like I said, like, tune in this Wednesday, we will give, you know, our proper thoughts on Mike, where we actually dedicate. I mean, this show's dedicated.
We still
to him
need
already.
more time, Jimmy. It's
But
only
yeah.
been. The moment I found out was like right at the end of Rip Rogers' stream on Friday.
Did Rip mention it on his stream?
Well, they somebody chatted in the chat. They said,
okay.
you know, rest in peace to Mike, aka Media M5, aka whatever. And Von Lilas was just like, no, surely they're not talking about Media M5 from here. Like he didn't believe it. Like, no, that's not him. You know, that was the first I heard of it. So like, I didn't even have time to think about that. I was going to start doing my own stream in like 5 minutes, and it's like, and I couldn't not do it because people, you know, first of all, he would have wanted me to do it. Second of all, the people in that community that watch me on Twitch or whatever, we got to talk about it. We can't just not talk about it. So
right.
I haven't even really had time to fully process it, but hopefully by the time Wednesday morning rolls around, like we'll all be able to kind of like get our thoughts together and really, we're not going to be able to do them justice anyway, but
no,
we'll do better than we can now, I think.
100%. And that's the thing. That's why I wasn't on the Smack Attack. It just, I didn't know how to like talk about it at the time. I just wasn't comfortable. Even now, like I was telling you off the air, like I was telling you, I was nervous about doing the show. Like I wasn't sure if I was even able to do the show properly. Like, you know what I mean? But you know what? I'm glad we did do it because it did take, you know, our minds off it and whatnot. And that's why we didn't say it at the start. We're contemplating if we should have said, you know, but we didn't want to put everybody down, basically, you know, because it sort of comes across as distasteful talking about that and talking about wrestling. It just,
yeah,
you know what I mean? It's not the right thing to do. So, but, yeah, Liz, have you got any contact with his girlfriend? Like you're saying to me in, you know, in a private message, but, if you have, and you know anything, please pass it on. But, thank you, Gam. Thank you also, man. I appreciate that. And Sonic says, this is why I don't get close to people or have a lot of friends. Life, man, it's fucked up, bro. Like, it's the most beautiful thing and the most cruel thing at the same time. As you get older, man, you realize we're not bulletproof, man. I mean, life is life. It is what it is, man. There's a start and there's an end. But, you know, nevertheless,
yeah,
RIP to Mike, man. And
yeah, Mike was, he's been going through stuff for a long time. Longer than we all knew him. You know?
Way longer, dude.
And he just toughed it out for like well over 20 years, had to be, if my math is correct. You know, like it's 2 decades plus that he's been dealing with chronic health issues of different kinds, all stemming from things that happened a long time ago. And yeah, it was frustrating at times because, you know, I'm sure some of us have cut promos on him about how he's got to take better care of himself on top of everything else he's going through. He's, you know, but even when he's laying out all this stuff to us, it never felt like he was just griping, because he'd be the first one to make jokes about himself and all this other stuff. And
right.
So he's busting his own balls before anybody else. And that's just the kind of guy he was. And that's one of the reasons that it's just like, he's not really gone. He's not really gone. He'll never be gone.
Yeah, man. For sure, man. Like I said, I just almost don't believe it, man. And sorry to hear that, Sonic, man, about your mother on Mother's Day and your sister. Damn, dude, it's fucked up, man. But look, man, at the end of the day, I know if you know he wouldn't want us to be down on shit, man. He'd probably be laughing at us right now, looking down on us. I just didn't expect him, you know, to go. Like, I knew how serious it was, but I always downplayed it. I always was like, nah, man, you'll be fine. I know you'll get through with it. The only time
it happens so often where he'd be in the hospital or the ER, and a lot of times he'd be chatting from there.
Yeah.
And you're just always like, he's just gonna come home in a few hours. Like, you don't really, you know.
And no shit, like he never used to like showing himself, which I totally understand. But I mean, shit, I've seen him, like, you know what I mean, in person, over the internet though, and he really showed me all his medications, and man, I've never seen someone be on so much, and he wasn't even that old, man. He was only in his late 40s, and yeah, it's just amazing that you're here one second, gone the next, and yeah, Mike, man, believe me when I tell you, you'll be missed, man. Even though you used to annoy the fuck out of me sometimes, and I would tell him that every time, like, bro, I'm fucking, yeah, he'd be clowning me for sure, Zane. Yep. But no shit, we'd clown on each other all the time. But I would always tell him, I'd be like, dude, relax, man. I just finished the show. You don't need to call me a million times. I'm still fucking, like, but it was all in good fun. And I do miss, the chats. It's just weird that we spoke a week and a half ago and now this. And, he'd never, you wouldn't know. Look, I don't know if he knew, like, something that he didn't want to really say. But he was one tough guy, man, because if I was in his position, I would have been a wreck, dude, straight up. You know what I mean? Honestly, a negative wreck too. You know what I mean? And the fact that he was still like supporting all of us, and he did so many shows. Look, like I said, I don't want to go too deep into it. Wait till Wednesday because I can sit here for another 3 hours and believe me, like, it's 4 a.m. for me. I would go another 3 hours, but Wednesday is when we're really going to be dedicating a show for him. Tune in for that because I got a lot of stories to say. But Mike, if you're watching right now, man, RIP to you, bro. You're one of the true ones, even if you're a ball breaker, but we still loved you, man. And he'd tell us all the time that he loved us, which means the world. And yeah, man, rest in peace, brother.
Yeah, definitely, guys. Make time, or at least just set aside some time if you can't catch it live. But Next Level Wrestling Review this Wednesday, 8 a.m. Pacific, 11 a.m. Eastern on YouTube. We're going to talk more about it. We're going to set aside time for it in the thing. We'll probably do the same thing as here. Like, we want to get the stupid wrestling that don't mean anything out of the way real quick, burn through that real quick, and then spend some quality time sorting out our thoughts and feelings about it. So just letting you know that that's the place for it. I know Ray's going to have a lot to say, so will I. So do that. And Jimmy, in the meantime, where can everybody else find you too, bro?
Well, you can find me on the X at DJ Massive X, as it says right up there. But please like and subscribe right here, channelattitude.com, where for $5, not only do you get the best talk, but also the realest talk in professional wrestling, and also at Hamin Media Group .podbean.com. Geez, I'm fucking my words up there, for our affiliate shows, and at the PWC Network .podbean.com, where you can find quite a few shows with me and Mikey, actually, funny enough. So yeah, man, I'm never gonna be able to listen to those shows the same way again, bro. Straight up, that's a weird thing, but yeah, that's where you can find me.
All right, you can find me at Opinion Haver on all your favorite social media platforms, including Twitch, where we used to have some good old games with Mike too. Me, Liz, Jerome, Buckshot Kid, good times. So I'm gonna hop on there as soon as we get done. You can find me every Monday for the Impact Attack, 6:30 p.m. Pacific, 9:30 p.m. Eastern with Brandon. If you want to hear me talk about TNA for some reason, that's where you would do it. Check out Wrestling with Rip Rogers every Friday. Check out Stevie Richards. He's got a new video of his, he's got a new board that he's going to use as part of the Blue World Order Studios, and his new curriculum is up on Patreon. So go give that a look. But yeah, I guess we should take it home, Jimmy.
Here's man.
Gary one more time, the elephant, the other elephant in the room.
There's Gaza,
who Mike also loved. Mike loved him some Gary.
How can you not love Gary? Come on, man. But and thanks to everyone in the chat, man, and thanks for all the well wishes and all. We appreciate that. You don't understand how much you guys mean to us. I mean, we wouldn't be here without you lot, man, and that's a fact. But in saying that, I am Jimmy T. That is Gary and the vet, Jamie Williams, and you've been listening and watching The Wreckage right here on channelattitude.com via Hamin Media Group, and we're out. Peace.